Hey guys, yeah, welcome in. 2 o'clock on a pretty eventful afternoon here as we head towards the Fed decision coming up at this time tomorrow. Make sure you're with us. We'll be on 15 minutes early, 1:45, and we'll get you set for the what's going to be a quarter-point hike from the Fed coming right now in 24 hours, and then we'll get obviously the press conference that comes through at 2:30 with Jerome Powell himself. Will tell the world, hopefully, that they are going to pause, that is it, and they're done, and they're going to pause. So that's coming up tomorrow afternoon. Here's what's on tap right now as far as the overall markets are concerned. 1.2 for the Dow and the S&P. They are trying to bounce here, but wow, that got ugly in a hurry as we headed through the morning there. 0.8 for the NASDAQ, TSX here in Toronto, exactly the same, 1.2 to the downside. Crude oil back in the red. We have 1.7 for Bitcoin, Ethereum leading the way as far as positivity is concerned. If you remember back at 10 o'clock this morning, that U.S. factory order number 0.9 versus 1.3 on a month-over-month basis. We also got those JOLTS, job openings. That's a listings number, so how many job listings were available on a month-over-month number. 9.5 million, still higher than expected there, so that kind of contributed. And then we also have all of this debt ceiling talk that's floating around as well. And it looks like, yeah, not good right now. Janet Yellen coming out late yesterday saying essentially that they got a month before they run out of money for the U.S. government. 1.2% right now for the S&P, as I said. Here's the banking group, the entire thing leading the way here. ZION, big move, downside, 11.3. CMA and KeyBank, remember, they came out, the NYSE came out just before the open, even at 9:30 this morning, and said they've begun the listing procedures or the delisting procedures for FRC. So that is going to come off in the next couple of days here. ANET downside in a big way, and ZBRA there for the hardware names in the tech group. Overall, some of the semiconductors still holding on to positive territory. Hard to see there behind the ticker, but there is a few names that are positive so far this afternoon, including in the industrials group up here, BR, ETN, AME, all earnings. LDOS was earnings, downside in a big way, obviously. There's earnings here as well through the materials group. TAP down there, Molson Coors, 7% upside, lots of people drinking beer. MAR, 4.6%, notable gainer there in the consumer discretionary group. But yeah, it's a red board in a big way. 1.25% for the S&P with 2 hours to go. We'll see if we can't get things righted, headed back to the upside anyway. As we head through the afternoon, AMD to come after the close this afternoon. Going to be an interesting report for AMD in this kind of a market. Again, all focus, all eyes, guys, on the debt ceiling, apparently. That's causing a little negativity. Frank Caberna coming up this afternoon. He's going to tell us why that matters and why we should be looking at yields a little more closely. Yeah, we had chips top of the board, obviously, with AMD on deck. NXPI reported that was better than expected, but AMD, the one we should be watching.
That's why this job.
Yes, sir. AMD, look, obviously, this one's green. It's interesting that we do that rundown, and it's always all red. I almost feel like, yeah, sometimes the stock made a big bounce. Like this went 88 to 90, bad boy, off the top. And we got to go with the all red. It just makes it feel a little bit negative. All that said, it's a good run for some names more than others. That hasn't changed in this market. Nothing you can do about that. And we just got up to resistance, if you can't tell. AMD, 90. I just pointed to where it might go to instead of over here. 90.30, that's a double top from the morning. That's the lower high, I should say, the afternoon high from yesterday. So this does pretend to a potential breakout. If you're watching the whole group, though, it's been a bit of a different story. I'm actually still looking for a short in NVIDIA, but I backed away waiting for it to get through VWAP and maybe to 85 for good reason, I thought. That's where I was terminating the short from earlier. I thought if we carried through VWAP, there'd be a play off 85s. NVIDIA's down 2%. Very different story. AMD got into green. The other one we usually look at, actually I'm not in it today, down 1% is Intel. Ended up rejecting the 3060. I thought maybe we'd get a little bit higher and press back into the levels that we like. But yeah, AMD is strong going into this report. I don't know whether it's going to be able to hold up. As I said, it's at a monster, not monster, but it's at a big resistance zone. It's really tempting to be short this if it gets back into these 20s now that I pull it up here, as I'm talking myself into like 25 cents worth of risk if I can get in on any kind of a pop. But this also was probably worthy of a power hour style breakout. Usually breakouts a little bit better as you get closer toward the end of the day. All eyes on this through the end. I don't think I'll be in Intel. More likely I trade AMD, NVIDIA in the final 2 hours here.
Neil, this is going to turn my mic up.
Turn them shits
This
up.
is going to matter to you. Presto can now be tapped on the TTC.
Wait, what?
Does that matter to you?
I can use. I use my Presto.
Tap?
Yeah.
Oh,
what?
You can now use debit or Visa to
Yeah,
tap.
you can already do that.
So but you have to load it first. That's why. Is that what it is?
It's crazy. So we have like our transit system in Toronto. Why am I struggling with transit? Our transit system in Toronto has a thing called Presto, which it's old, antiquated, but you can now finally actually use
New
like
technology,
your
the
debit or
tapping.
credit on the same thing to tap.
Right.
But I already have my Presto card, so I just use that anyways. But the crazy,
something in my eye here.
the crazy thing about that, and this is not to throw any shade on Toronto, is it was an old, it was a system that was, I think it was like 5 to 10 years old, used in Montreal, which is like the capital of Canada, and we got all kinds of terrible reviews.
What did you just say?
So Presto first was in Ottawa.
Right. Okay. I think
And it was getting terrible, terrible reviews.
Yeah.
And then 5 years after that, they put it in the biggest city in Canada. I'm just gonna throw that.
Did anybody
out there.
say money, 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 money?
That's how the world works.
I'm trying to pair my headset here.
It's even more gangster in the
So,
islands. So
now
you
that I
can't.
look like
People
this.
complain about like corruption and like one hand washes the other. I'm like, go to the West Indies, man. We'll see what's up with government contracts. So don't complain about it in North America. All the stuff we talk about politically, like you see what's up when you go to the West Indies.
Well,
like things get done when they get done, and quite frankly, you're greasing somebody, or it's not going to happen.
I mean, 60% of our viewership is from the U.S.
Yeah.
So I believe that they would know something about political influences.
See, but they think
affecting decisions.
You think you do, but trust me, man. In the islands, like dudes
the
like
islands-
that's
oh, no.
like that's what you took
Yes,
for a bribe.
I was comparing to Canada, but
I'm like, anyways, I shouldn't even get into it. But there's like a guy who's like the mini Madoff named Alan Sanford in Antigua.
Oh yeah.
So like, let's just say this is a billion-dollar scam that this guy was running. He's like the mini Madoff.
He got caught. This is
He got caught.
Google this.
And
yeah.
the amount that he was paying off certain people in the government was so small. It's like what is even going on here?
a
But that's
couple
just
$100
how it is.
a week. Like
But that's
something
just
very
how it
small.
is, man.
Yeah.
Anyways, what are we even talking about? I could go on about this.
Yeah, what are we talking about?
I should.
What is it? What do you want to talk about here? Chips?
What were we talking about?
I mean, there's ketchup. Oh, chips. Oh,
All
yeah,
dressed.
yeah, barbecue.
Salt and vinegar.
Yeah.
What's
All
your
right.
favorite chip? I actually don't know the answer to this question. Because you know mine.
No, I don't. I do know yours.
Come on. Oh.
I mean, you always say ketchup.
Yeah, of course,
okay,
ketchup
so that's
chips.
fine. You know what? I was like a little bit of an undercover one. I don't know. I haven't seen them around that much. I haven't had them in a long time. You know what I really used to like? And we'll throw it back over the desk.
Yeah.
Think about your favorite chip over there. I like Dorito Cool Ranch.
Yo, okay.
You know what I'm saying? I like the Dorito, but I haven't seen those in a while. Dorito has also like a sweet chili heat. Those are pretty hot fire. But I like Miss Vicky's.
Miss Vicky's are good
I like
too.
those. The kettle chips.
Those are good too.
kettle
Don't say
chips.
Packy chips, Michael Lloyd.
But anyways, okay, let's go back over. So it's ketchup, it's Cool Ranch, and let's go over to the desk.
I find kettle chips like cut your mouth apart. They're so hard. All dressed.
Oh, salt and vinegar special. Miss Vicky's sea salt and vinegar.
Specifically. No, I'm an all dress guy. I don't even know. Let us know if you guys have all dress south of the border. I'm not sure. They do not? No? Okay. Sorry. Let's talk Uber. I was just saying to Sharif here, guys, like oil's down 5.3% and at session lows. With 20 minutes to go here on the pit session in Chicago. Let's talk about Uber. Earnings name this morning, obviously, that's Sofi. We'll get to that in a second. But turned around very quickly as we got that initial flush anyways out of the gate. But here we are. If there is one name that we can look to for strength today, Uber is it.
Oh, so much strength in this, up over 11% now. You saw Max try to take this one short on the midday show. It's double, I mean, you could say possible double top here. We got that 7 a.m. high at around 36.40. We're right back at that level again, but a newer high, Brendo.
Yeah, 3 days in a row. If you go to the daily chart, pretty impressive here. Right back to those January highs here for Uber, guys.
11%. Oh, that's not the only thing up strong. UVXY is up pretty decently today. That's a bit of a cheat code, but well, obviously that doesn't matter. It's inverse to the market when you talk about volatility.
Oh, yeah.
But we're not there just yet. However, and this is going to be weird to say. I know we always say this: don't fight the trend. But the plan this morning, for me at least, was if this carried through and got to that 30. I mean, this up here is 37.50-ish, and the top 38. So once it crosses 37, it's getting into what I thought was going to be an obvious short zone, and you've come a little bit too far kind of deal. So it's always a chance. I want to say it's dwindling by the minute that Uber is going to get there. Maybe it gets there tomorrow. I don't know. Like, if Uber is here tomorrow and we can trade off the highs going into a Fed day when you're not always breaking ranges, that could play as well. But yeah, nothing to be seen here for me on Alpha. I almost said Alphabet.
I thought you said almost said Alfred.
Well, I can say Alfred.
Do you like
too.
that idea about bringing back the guest trader?
We've been
today?
talking about doing this for a long
yes.
time, and I like the idea that we
Yes.
bring Alfred into this because we've been talking about the mysterious Alfred.
Yes.
This is obviously Sharif's friend for a little bit here, and we used to have a lot of fun with it. And you know, we had a lot of guests back in the day that'd be fantastic to get that going. I didn't mean Alphabet. AMD popped into my mind. I saw the A, and then for whatever reason, I thought Alphabet. But I just got AMD. I was talking about that short. So I'm not likely trading Uber today unless, look, if Uber runs $1 in the next hour or so, then okay, you'll probably see me in some Uber. But AMD, I just got into it. You've been essentially just hugging this 90 area, trying to bounce and not getting very far off the 50 period. So I understand why you could be bullish, but going into earnings, we just talked about that over under whatever at that 90-30 high here. I just missed like 20s and I got in here at 90.05. Hey, it's like 9.05. If you got the 9.05, if you're from here, you know exactly what I'm talking about there. Yeah, I'm going to try and get some out as this heads down into VWAP. So we just talked ourselves into, I was just literally going over this and talking myself into this because I couldn't get NVIDIA to 285 for the short. And so AMD working off this 90-30 area, we'll play it back into VWAP because that's an uptrend last I checked. So if you get a pullback in an upward trend, you want to make sure you pay yourself out. But Uber, probably a hard pass unless something extraordinary happens into the close.
Yeah, we already talked about Uber, but you know what? Sharif, I don't know if you're still in Amazon or not, but right now,
Oh my
what's up
God.
to Zion and everybody there that we were talking about this short here on Amazon? We did get stopped out. We talked about that for sure. We got stopped out at 75% of our trade for a 10-cent hit. But right now, when you hold 25% and you're now in the money 60 pennies, it's a good one. But we've gotten some more out of it. I mean, it came back into 60.50. We got a 35 fill. Then we got a 20 fill. And now you're printing even lower here on Amazon. So congratulations to everybody that had Amazon short right now. We put Uber out. You can find it at Trader TV, Sean. We had this out here for the 34 long. We missed it. Now it's breaking out higher. So Amazon, well done, man. Uber, well done today. Good stock. And again, what's up to Kurt? I think it was Kurt Sanders there at the morning show. I was talking about, you know, that I sort of mentioned yesterday that I thought Uber could come up with a beat, and they did do that. So he had made some money on some calls. We did say get out of them, man, because there's the dip down, but it has retraced quite nicely. You could draw, I mean, look at this. This is what I talk about sometimes. This is going to be, I'm just trying this right now. I don't know if we have it exactly, but right there, not a bad little line right there. As you can see, we've sort of bounced off all the way up. So you're going to look at about a 36 or so break to maybe send this thing back down to change that trend. But right now, Uber, I'm in Amazon, the only name, I'm in Apple as well, but right there, dipped down, held that 50 and straight up to the upside. You know what I can't stop thinking about there, Brendan and Sharif? That we've got Frank Caberna coming on very, very soon. And the reason why
Frank's
is
a tank.
Yeah, exactly. There's a big Fed announcement tomorrow that is pretty much coming as expected, I think, with that quarter point.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to hear about Frank Caberna and what he thinks maybe the market, where we might go on an expected rate hike tomorrow. But all right, let's go over to the desk and we'll talk about some Tesla.
Yeah, really interesting moves happening even right now this afternoon here, guys, with yields as well. So we'll touch on this coming up with Frank. But back downside we go for both of these. That's the 10-year. This is a daily chart. So We had the big move up yesterday and then right back down today. Same story for the 2-year. We give it all back, giving back a couple of days worth of upside here for the 2 years. So the yields under pressure, dollar under pressure here this afternoon as well. And even the stock market is under pressure. That was a headline. I mean, Tesla was kind of a nothing event today. It's just more price changes. Elon was saying Elon things once again. It actually rallied initially this morning, but as soon as that number came at 10 o'clock, here we are basically back to session lows.
Yeah, that JOLTS number really bringing down Tesla. It's been flirting with flat all day, Brendo, around that 160, 185 area. And then we saw Ford respond with the Mach-E price cuts in response to Tesla's price increases. So a little move there by Ford.
It's two-way action, but a lot of range anyways to be traded if you were watching Tesla today.
So I'm going to get to Tesla in a quick second. We got a super chat, and I wanted to address. There was a question to me, and then there was a super chat I want to get to. Noah JM was asking for a refresh on Macy's, and I know we were talking about Macy's yesterday. So, quite frankly, I'm a little bit embarrassed that after talking about this, I didn't actually put this on my list for breakdowns because it kind of broke the daily, that 16.5, and we're talking about the consolidation here. And if you look at it, all it did is break the channel down 16 even, pretty clean on Macy's at the open. I mean, it's not a perfect flat bottom break, but that's a 16 even clean break at the open, trying to catch a bit of a bid. Pretty nasty there. And then there was a super chat just there. And thank you very much for, we appreciate all the super chats. I just saw the question. Oh, it just disappeared. Oh, there it is. I just found it again. So at Arcan there, is Starbucks a good play? New CEO, the run they've been on. They report after market tonight. I think the concern you have with Starbucks, PC load letter, the concern you have with Starbucks might be just how far it's come here. And the consumer names are a little bit of a different beast in terms of how far they've been able to go and whether they've been able to extend. You're churning into fresh highs in the last year here on Starbucks, and it's a little bit difficult, I think, especially with some. You look at the growth that's happening in China, and there were some good numbers of projections, at least from the IWM. The IWM came out and said China growth is going to actually be pretty good, China and India both. So that's a little bit of a tailwind, I think, that can make its way around there globally. But at the end of the day, I just feel like this one might be maybe due for a little bit of a pullback. It's very extended at this point. It's dipping a little bit today, but I wouldn't be as gangbusters about it as big as the run has come on. I think it's a great company. There's no question about that. It's just a matter of look at the run it's been making going into these earnings, and we haven't always seen the follow through in a lot of these types of plays. Like I don't know how many times I've seen gap down on decent names, then the run is after the earnings pullback. So that's my 2 cents with Starbucks. That AMD starting to bounce back up. I will try to reload that short, and then back to Tesla, which I was supposed to be talking about. Tesla is all about this one. I think it's this 160. Look, it's bounced off at one time. It looks like it's headed for 160 again. It's kind of hard to see on the. It kind of wicked this, got to 159.75, but it managed to hold that 160 level. I think we were playing off that in the afternoon. And don't forget, it broke this without any. There was no change. Didn't even hold it yesterday. It just blew right through that level and got to 159. So I would expect that Tesla is going to remain a little bit weak this afternoon. There might be a play off that 160 level like there was earlier today.
So you just talked about Tesla. I'll go back to another mega cap name here, the largest in the NASDAQ, in fact, with Mr. Sofi. We just shorted it again. Our average price rate here is 87s. What was it show? The 86. Okay, so this time round it down, which is fine. So we're right on a flat position right now for Microsoft. We tried to get a little bit more here at 05, 06, but we're not going to hold this for too long. If we break too much into the teens right now on Microsoft, then we are going to get out. But we're now short at the money or close enough to it right here for Microsoft. Just seeing about it. I mean, the NASDAQ is right here. You still are down on the day here on the NQs. It's just trying to bounce off that 50 period as well. If we make a run back above, and he said this on the midday show, that I thought we could get up about 20 handles, and that's pretty much exactly where we went there on the NASDAQ, and now it's retracing back down. So let's see if we can't break some of these lows and then get out. There it goes. Microsoft now in the money as it's coming back in there. It's too bad we never got that 05 reload there, but it's flat. Basically, it's a 10 penny winner right now. Well, almost now it is. One more move down. Okay, that's what we're doing. I'm bidding low 70s here on Microsoft. So let's see if we do get a move down. Maybe low 70s is a bit too much, but there it is. Let's just, okay. Okay, I see you. We'll punch something out there if we can. We'll get a 75. Here it comes down into those low 70s that we were talking about. So far, so good. Let me put a 66 bid on there. Cancel my 57s. And then there it is. We got that. Okay, so there it is. I'm glad we went over this right now because there's a good trade to start the show with. Microsoft, quick short, in the money now, 28 pennies.
What are you supposed to be?
Hi. We were just talking about this Minim, M-I-N-M, doing things here this afternoon. $6. Just checking on the float there. It didn't come up though. $6 got tested there again. But wow, like some of these things are tiny and still going crazy. Note on NVIDIA just popping up in front of me as well. NVIDIA serving up a major price cut on its best GPU. So heads up on NVIDIA. Let's talk about Meta. Again, we were discussing the fact that what happened yesterday, obviously, and then going into today, there was a few more analyst notes on Meta. I can't take my eyes off this M-I-N-M thing as well. But did you do anything with Meta today?
I didn't. I had my eye on it. It doesn't look like a good pattern today. I mean, right now, it kind of looks like one of those flat bottom breaks that Neil talks about. Have a look at this 5-minute chart here. Look at this big move down. We retrace. We come into the 50 period, and then we're going right back into lows, Brendo. 239.32. That's a low day right now, down 1.36%.
Yeah, we were wondering if it was going to be a take profit kind of a day for some of these guys. I mean, the market obviously not helping either.
Yeah, you rejected 245 pretty clean on Meta, which really, as you say that, that's ridiculously impressive, right? Like, you just remember where Meta was last week. It was at 20. What was it, like 206 was this bottom? Yeah, 206 was the bottom of the week, I want to say. So when you reject 245 a week later, that's not exactly a bad thing because you had to get there first. But it's been a bit of a downward trend. Like, I went for the dip buy on Meta probably a little bit early. Took it. Actually, I scalped it first, was a win, and the second one was a loss. And now it ended up red on the stock. I did not move to the short side of the trade, which I probably should have. I don't know if I like that flat bottom break. You're kind of in the middle of nowhere at 239 change here. There's a lot of room to the downside, maybe to that 35 if it does go. I was watching that minimum. I was watching that minimum stock as well. That is wild. The liquidity is sparse, is what I'm going to say there. But while that was happening, I want to get to just only because it's not there. PACW. So a couple of things. PACW has been trying to get back above this 7 level, and every single time it's busted above 7. It's had this little retracement back into 650, 660. However, there's a buyer here at 650. I'm looking to cover this at 650, and if it breaks down, I'll look for a re-entry point trending back into 5 even. But it's been an inside move on this, and I've been holding on instead of getting out and just taking the win. I'm going to try and take it out in front of 650. It's been a good trade, but not nearly as good as when it flushed early. I'm not sure you're going to see as big moves on PACW this afternoon, but stranger things have happened. It feels like it might have bottomed for the day.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with this minimum stock here, but did we talk about this?
Minimum.
Yeah, it's the name isn't as hard as you think. It's
I'm messing with you.
Okay,
I'm having fun with it.
Right now, 750, 760, 770. I mean, we are still starting to keep on going, man. It's doubled in an hour here, all the way to the upside. And we can look at the float edge and everything involved with this. I apologize. Is it? We've already looked.
You know it's one.
M-I-N-M. Right now, let's just see what this one has here. Million. Float, yeah, 1 exactly. So 1 million share float starting to go right now. I mean, obviously, if we knew about this with an amazing 50 million in revenue and a market cap of 14 million, yeah, that's a pretty aggressive price, up to $8 right now. Look what it says here on Trade Ideas. Don't worry. It's a telephone apparatus manufacturing right now.
What does that even?
Don't worry what it means, Neil. Just make sure that you get long.
Telephone apparatus?
Yeah, minimum, man.
What the hell is a telephone apparatus? Whatever that is.
No, don't worry what it is, man. I'm telling you, you don't have to. These stocks, they're not trading on, what
Hold on a second. You just say revenue is 50 million.
According, market cap 15 million.
50.
But I don't know that now the market cap might be revenue because I don't know if this market cap updates real time or not. So it just changed. It is updating real time.
FinViz has it trading 0.08 times sales.
Right, 0.08
times sales.
0.08. Yes, that would have been right. Because if this was down here, again, they probably haven't adjusted it because...
Value? No, just kidding.
This morning, it was $3.
Sounds cheap.
So right now, this is adjusting real time, by the way. Shout out to Trade Ideas. And Michael Noss, if you're around, check your email, my guy. But all right, let's go back over. We do have 50 cents in the money on Amazon. We have 35 cents in the money on Microsoft. We have 75 cents in the money on Apple. Yeah, we're happy. We're watching that minimum stock as it's, going crazy. I don't have anything cool to say about it. But go Leafs, go as we get ready for a big game tonight. The tickets aren't actually that expensive. My Marissa just sent me $4.50 to sit up top, which isn't so bad actually.
Really?
Yeah.
For Toronto prices, that's actually
that's
really
actually
good.
not that bad. So okay, let's go over to the desk now with Brendo and Sharif again.
Too rich for my blood, for sure. Sofi, 2 days in a row here, absolutely crushed once again today. 10% on top of what happened yesterday, if you remember, following earnings. And again, heavy volume, not quite where we were at the end of the day yesterday, but a few more negative notes here. Credit Suisse, Wedbush, all to the downside on SoFi today, day number 2 following earnings.
Yeah, there was a litany of price target downgrades this morning when I was doing the upgrades and downgrades on SoFi. But look at this chart. I thought there would be some support at 5 when we got to 5. There was nothing, Brendo. It just walked down 472. Now retracing up to 5, actually finding resistance at 5. The former area of supposed to be support, acting as resistance.
Yeah, not much of a bounce here. Maybe, I don't know, 420 next stop, guys?
Did you look at the chart when you said 420? You just say 420 because of 420. I'm not sure because he's right. Like 420 is support on the chart, but I wasn't entirely sure if Brendan was maybe just making a joke that he doesn't normally make. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to 420, but that is the obvious level. I don't know that it's 100% correct to say that it didn't bounce off 5. In fairness, this wick here at 935 got to 903, and then it bounced to 503, then it bounced to 510, 512. I was going to be on the bid. I was actually at the time I was bidding 1s and 2s and did not get the fill. It bounced at 10 pennies. The second it made that bounce off 03s instead of 5 even, I just canceled the bid because I didn't want it the second time, and that was probably a good decision. I don't know there's enough volume for the trade to play off that 5 even for the short side here. It's not crazy. I just don't know how fantastic that might be. It could be good. We'll see. I'm about to get a reload. We'll see. I'm about to get a reload in AMD. I was going to mention something about Bed Bath & Beyond. I wanted to get VWAP there. It obviously hasn't happened, but if we get back up above 90, I'll probably reload this. That said, I don't need to sit in front of it. I can allow it to get up into the price level. It's putting in higher lows. This is kind of a bigger pullback there, but I need to make sure that it's going to put in a lower high and then then get into the short. I can put in a lower high there. I am in Bed Bath & Beyond, and it's supposed to be gone yesterday. I've been sitting in the 10 short pretty much all day. It's not doing a heck of a lot at this point.
Today.
Yeah, well, gone
yesterday?
No, tomorrow. Did I say yesterday?
You said yesterday.
Okay, anyways, it's gone today or gone tomorrow, however you want to look at it. It should be the last day. I'm short off the 10, which it never broke yet in the afternoon. We mentioned this yesterday is what I was getting at. I sat waiting for 10 to break. It basically gave the 10 break. It's now barcoding at 8 cents. I've taken out some, I literally have less than 5% left, just holding on for whatever might come here. If it breaks back up to VWAP, I'll just get out. But that's the only other position. I have Pack W from the morning. That's bouncing off VWAP, but nothing too crazy. I am looking for a reload in AMD, though.
Are people actually posting $9 for that minimum stock right now? I don't
No,
even want to look at it, to be honest with you. I was about to talk
Seriously?
about something that actually makes sense, Meta, but I mean, what a great trade that would be for that minimum stock right now. It is, right?
It is at $9.
Let's have
Wow.
a look.
Like you just...
I don't even know what it is anymore. MINM.
There needs to be like a just punch long
Geez,
when Brendan says
$9.
so.
I mean, $9.50.
Where is this stock going to go?
Where's it going to go? All
The
aboard.
moon? The moon?
You don't want to stay. You don't want to stand in front of this guy. Look at the point on this thing. You are getting your
Yo, that's death right there.
blasted.
And it's like a rocket, so if
All
it
right,
runs
what is
into
it
it's
to
going to
short this
explode
thing? Have
anyway.
we even looked to see what the cost
I
is
will-
on this?
I will check
Because,
for locates, just
it's
out of
pulling back right now. It just wicked up at 950. So like,
late.
you're gonna get now it's too late. Well, it's probably gonna halt. Let's see. So that was like it should have halted already.
First of all, why hasn't it halted?
Why didn't it just halt right there? That's more than 10% down in 5 seconds.
Halt rules
That's a
don't have
halt.
to make
That's a
sense.
halt. This halts.
They don't have to
Supposed
make
to halt.
sense. Hang on.
Come on, man. Where's the halt? But anyways, who knows, man? It halted right there off of a move.
It didn't
that
make the
looked-
minimum move for a halt.
What do you mean? Oh, minimum. That was a good one. Yeah, because that's 950 There's intraday rule. Something's changed in the rules because it's not the way we understand it.
I saw
because-
PAC W move 40 cents in halt once, and it's a $6 stock. And then,
Well, but that shouldn't have been halted.
exactly. And then I see minimum or whatever the heck it is, 950 to 8. Like it just moves 15% and doesn't halt. I'm not paying.
How much is it?
It's 29 cents a share, but after it already dipped like that, you missed this short. So I'm not going to pay for locates there because you might have already just gotten the short and then you didn't get it. So yeah, I'll pass on that. Puff pass on paying for locates on this.
Yeah, 29 cents. Well, good thing you checked it out.
It's not that bad. It's just.
I know it also didn't halt going up. Yeah, no, I know. That's what we're trying to get at here. I feel like the rules.
I thought there was one halt going up. Let me.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah, there
but
was
it didn't.
one.
But it didn't. Like, why didn't it halt going up from 5?
Yeah, where's
to
the second
8?
halt?
Like, did it only? I mean, here, did it only halt once today? Yeah, probably.
just
I mean,
once.
it might have halted.
Oh, let me check.
Might have halted early there, but.
Well, you know how I can tell?
Yeah, there's a halt counter.
I've got my halt counter just one time.
Wow. Wow.
That's
What
weird.
a parabolic move.
Anyways.
But there's that spike that you're looking for, right? So if you're going to go short,
Yeah,
you
that
wait
was
for it to get sort of blown out, and you're never going to get the very top, but maybe you get 9 or something, and then you use that as your out. So it's pretty simple there, and so that's the risk to reward. I would go 1-to-1 on the first half once you find a position like this. So short 9, out 850, which would have came like, I don't even know if you would have got 850, probably couldn't even put the order out in order to get 850. Then it's all the way down here to 8. This is one 1-minute candle. So one 1-minute candle, it goes from 950 down to 8, and then the very next minute it wicks down to 760. So, you know, I think that if you're playing the retracement back in, you may already be out because of just how violent the move down was, but I'd definitely be out of half right now because I'm only giving it 50 cents. So if you're going short at 9, and it depends on where you're short, but that has to be your out. That 100% has to be your out. So I like to risk to reward things at least 1-to-1 on at least half, most of the time even more than that, and then we go off. So let's watch out for that. Here comes Microsoft. I don't know where we're waiting for. Like that went to 90? Oh man, I'm at Wayne Gretzky there. All right, let's go to Lindros then. And see, I'm using these little secret words here so people have to figure out what's going on there. So we're going at Lindros, which is 1 penny ahead of Crosby.
I bet you they don't know that though.
And 1 penny less than McGillney.
Oh my goodness.
So if you're greater than Crosby but less than McGillney, then you're 88. So that's where we are right now with Microsoft. And I met Maple Leaf captain Rick Vive.
McGillney with the Leafs is, although everyone else is going to remember him with Pat LaFontaine.
Yeah, it was amazing as a Sabres.
The Sabres had a team back in the
Pat
day.
LaFontaine was really serious.
It's interesting, like I was, two of my favorite players when I was a kid,
and
which is weird because as a Toronto fan, was Trevor Linden and Pat LaFontaine. And I don't even remember why.
Wow.
Trevor Linden was just, I liked the power forward, like he was a center, but he had defensive game, he could hit, like he was a bit of everything. And LaFontaine just seemed gangster to me. I don't know why.
He's American too,
he's an American
right?
player. I don't know why I loved LaFontaine. I have no clue.
Here's me the other day. No one's going to know this guy. This is Noodles from Overdrive. He's on every single day. He's on major Canadian television. But then this guy here, Rick Vive.
Yeah.
I don't know if enough people know about this guy, and I just looked up his stats right here on NHL.com. So he was the Maple Leaf leader for goals. He was a captain as well. Look what he was putting up here. 52, 51, 50. So that was by far our best goal scorer ever, probably, in that little stretch, besides, of course, Austin Matthews, who has now taken out 60. But
go to his career
you just saw that 400 career goals.
In less than 1,000 games?
Yeah, this guy's a pimp.
That's
and
legit.
then also, so almost a point per game, Rick Vive. Right there, and me and Brendan saw this guy at the Hockey Hall of Fame. So there it is right there. Shout out to my main guy, Rick Vive. And then we were watching the Leaf game with him as well. The Leafs wound up losing that one, but that's okay. That's okay because
doesn't matter. We got through.
Yeah, what are we doing? This guy has to be over here right now. But you know what? Unfortunately, we are still down 1%, and we forgot to change up this guy. So
that market bottom is in. I'm just kidding.
Market bottom is in.
Well.
Oh, because we're changing this? Is
Well,
that
see,
why?
we're changing it, but after
we've retraced
come
nicely.
to my chart for just a quick second, because I know we always do this. It's like it's trending all morning long, and the shorts are printing, and we're short all morning. And then by the time we've already bounced off the lows, then we managed to remember, we're supposed to change it from a bull to a bear because it's a bear day. But we are pulling back in. The trend is solidly to the downside, and it's 1%. Actually, on the ES is 1.3%. And if you're looking at energy, it's actually worse than that. So there's a lot of bearish undertones to the market today, whatever you want to call it. So I'm looking for my reload over here in AMD.
That's a good call.
We'll see what happens.
Bearish
I
undertones?
just feel like we were really late to change that to a bear. It's like,
Well, I just
all
really
short,
late.
all
I mean, we're just
morning.
doing it now. I mean, we're very late.
yeah, I feel like I'm just not noticing it enough for some reason.
Darn it. Okay, we just got filled on Microsoft, 20 pennies.
I'm reloaded. I don't have that one.
I don't have the reloaded one either, but I have this one
Patrick
because it was a good
Kane?
idea. Patrick Kane, we love Patrick Kane, but of course another American playing for. Actually, he got dealt. He just got booted.
The GOAT 88.
He was
I
on
don't
the
know if
Rangers.
that's true,
He
but
was on the Rangers, Patrick Kane, and they just got eliminated by your New Jersey Devils.
yes, sir.
I don't really like the New Jersey. I mean, I have a Martin Brodeur jersey, but that was pretty dirty the way those guys were playing there in the 90s, man. But good on them, all those cups and everything.
They won.
They basically
it
just,
wasn't fun to watch,
you
but
know,
they won.
Exactly, and the dub is what matters. What's
Exactly.
up, Brendo?
As we continue to hear about all these stories about this company going bankrupt, this bank going bankrupt, this other thing going bankrupt, here's one going the other way for once. RevRQ on the OTC, emerging from bankruptcy today after lender takeover, guys. So I don't think we can actually trade it as of yet. It's not even, I think it's grayed out on our system. But yeah, Revlon, back in action apparently.
You think it's grayed out?
Rev.
It is. You come to my screen. I have it.
Oh, you already have it?
Yeah. So there it is. So nobody trading this thing right now, but that's going to be interesting when they do come back in. So hopefully, if that is anything, they probably lost their listing notice, so they're not even on the ping sheets. It doesn't look like, but we'll see. The last trade date on this one, it's looking like. I mean, was there some trades? No. When was
So
this?
what
This May
is-
1st. RevRQ. I just want to see because I'm going to look it up on eSignal. Sometimes they'll give me, it's not even on our,
No.
so I think this is delisted. So we'll wait to see when it does come back in there. But of course, we are not forgetting about our minimum trade right now as that's just
We
hovering
should call
around.
it M&M.
Look what happened though, but
Or Slim
interesting
Shady.
where it went back. Right
Right to
back
9.
to its high of 950.
So
again.
if you'd paid for locates,
Eric Lindros coming into play
just
here
got
for
it.
Microsoft, by the way.
yeah, if you paid for the locates, it would have worked out. But here's the risk reward issue
70
with paying
bid
for
on
those locates. If you go 9 short into 950, you're really 9 short into 980 plus slippage because you paid 30. Because well, for us, we would have paid 30 cents for the locates. That's what I was getting at. Like I'm not paying for it unless it gives you that first move. And really, the fact that you're paying the extra 30 pennies maybe doesn't work there. So, good luck. I got my reload in it. Almost said Amazon, AMD. I got Amazon on another chart there. Yeah, this one, if it breaks another high, all things are possible when you have that small of a float. That's to be sure. I didn't mention NCLH, but that's from this morning. I did get a reload off VWAP as it comes right back in. This is a New York stock. Hate that. You go from NASDAQ to New York and hit enter too fast. I bounced first time off VWAP. I'm a little reluctant to take it. I was long 14 just like yesterday. And then after I saw this move, I was like, why didn't I take that dip into the quarters? So I did, scalped some out there after it got 10 cents in the money, and it's just sitting at VWAP. I want to see a little more strength here. It feels like it's gotten a little weak in the afternoon. So I'm looking for any kind of a pop back into those previous highs, and then I'll just get out of it. It's the only long I actually have on board right here is the market. It's at a decision point, this market. So if you have anything in front of resistance, I like it. But this is, to me, breaking support. I don't really see an opportunity to add. Maybe if it would like wick down underneath, I can jump back in on some strength. But I just like where AMD's trading at a more key level up at that 90. Keyer, as if that's a
Keyer
word.
and Peel.
Keyer and Peel. I don't know. It's like sometimes English is a struggle.
we're
I'm just
so
kidding.
dumb
But yeah, we're rolling back into VWAP, so we'll continue to work this trade to the downside and see where we go. I might rinse and repeat this 190s to that 90.25 over and over again, just because this one's in play. I'm holding on to Pack W here. I have my bid underneath 650, but here's what I should do. Because anytime this happens, when you start bouncing in front of your level where you're trying to take profit, if it breaks down here, it's probably not only going to break 10 cents. So either I should get out in front of 660 or let it break down and trail it and see how far it goes to the downside. So I'm going to go for the latter. I'm going to slap a trail on this at like 680. So if it doesn't hold VWAP here, or so if it does hold VWAP, if you're thinking long, then I'm out. Otherwise, let's just let it see how far it can go. And then we'll, I don't know, if it goes down to $6, that probably makes some sense. The even dollars have been good levels for these names. So short Pack W, that's working. AMD, that continues to be solid. And then we'll go from there. I know we're excited to see Frank in just a little bit, as this market's at an inflection point. So if a stock isn't at a key level, don't force it. Just chill, Winston.
Yes, just chill. I mean, we have right now a very, very nice chilled out position on Mr. Softy because Eric Lindros just came to play. So we're going to spin that right there. That, of course, was 88 right there. So nice short. Let's go. Let's bring this to the downside. Thank you very much. Thank you. Come again one more time here for Microsoft, as there it is, another 50-cent winner. Man, we on one today. There it is, a nice move to the downside right here. Boom, 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 as we go. Amazon, ooh, doggy. We came within, what? That's not possible. We're sitting at 67s. This did not, when did I put this? I didn't even notice that, Phil. When did I put this out? I put it out at 240. When was this? Oh my God, we just missed this. That was 38. I wasn't sitting here and I saw someone in the chat go, oh my God, Amazon's all the way back. So I just hit offer enter and I didn't get filled, but my order went out at 67 right here, thinking I was going to get filled and didn't. I didn't even look at the chart. We should have been short Amazon against that high. But right now, Microsoft is 50 cents in the money. Apple, for some reason, is holding out right now. We're still long that one. That's $1 in the money. So we're going to pay attention as carnival time there on Apple as it just goes back up to the upside. Come on, Softy. You're the one, man. Bring it back in now into the 30s. This is a good fill for me right here. Let's take that. If we get a 37, we'll sit there. See, I should have punched out 39s because see what I've done now? Uh-oh. Came back. Now we're bidding that 37, so people are sitting in front of us. But that's okay. Hopefully we get that fill. Hopefully we do get that fill there at 37. And I just secretly put a 40. So we'll take that fill right there at 40 and go. Take this opportunity to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You won't be disappointed. There's lots of bangs.
You never hit your own. You literally, wait a hold on a second.
Forget about that.
Hola.
There it is. It's right beside it. Right beside it. So
that's good because you refuse to ever hit your own one.
It's not. The problem is really like you should have mine. I should have yours. We should both have cats. And where's Brendan's, by the way?
See, actually, this is a problem because Brendan's like and subscribe button does not exist. He shot one, and it doesn't exist for anybody else to be able to hit the key.
Does it exist, Mahad? Does it exist? Mahad's hands are in the air.
And
right
you know
now.
what? The man himself.
And he's waving them like he just don't care.
The man himself can explain why. And actually, I don't know if Frank can actually
Bye-bye,
hear us.
Microsoft.
Frank, can you call Brendan out on not having his own like and subscribe
I'm sure Frank is already liked and subscribed, but I'm sure if there was one from Brendan, he would be forwarding it to his friends,
give him hell, Frank.
His colleagues, and everything like that. Right now, Microsoft 70 cents and a good trade there into the money on the short side. But as Neil queued it up, man, good job on that one. It's Mr. Frank Caberna from IG. Let's go.
No one will ever know. We'll see. Anyways, as mentioned, Frank Caberna back with us from IG US to give us a bit of a tee up as to what is to come this week. Absolute monster week ahead because not only do we get a U.S. interest rate decision coming up on Wednesday, Frank, as you well know, non-farm payrolls, you just reminded me of, are coming on Friday as well. Typically, one of those things that kind of is a precursor to a Fed decision, or the past couple anyways, have come before. But it's interesting that we're going to get it prior to or after the Fed decision this time, which is coming on Wednesday. So much to cover here. Give me your initial thoughts. Obviously, the market, more focused, I think, on the debt headlines that are circulating and coming off those comments from Janet Yellen yesterday in the sense that they may only have a month left here as far as funding is concerned.
Yeah, and while there is so much to talk about here, Brendan, and I want to cover it all with you, all I can think about is where is your like and subscribe bumper? I mean, you're
no one
really
will ever know, Frank.
missing out on a huge part of your audience here. A lot of people would be liking and subscribing if they had the bumper from yours truly. But yeah, let's get into it. Enough joking around here with my friends. Let's give the people what they want, which is a jam-packed economic calendar here this week. And it's funny, I didn't even put on our board. We have the rate decision from the U.S. We have the rate decision from the ECP, the European Central Bank, that is on the Eurozone, and what interest rates relate to the euro currency. That'll be on Thursday morning, as well as the non-farm payrolls on Friday. I didn't even bring up the fact, Brendan, that we had a Australian rate decision last night, and they came out and surprised. You'll see that Aussie dollar is actually up this afternoon and was up 100 pips overnight with the surprise move. So really a jam-packed week. And then you throw on top of it all of the fear around the banking crisis and the debt ceiling. It's really pushing odds back and forth. The expectation as of now is a 25 basis point hike out of the US, a 25 basis point hike out of Euro, and then about 180,000 jobs on Friday. Now, it seems like most of those expectations are priced into the market, and we can bring up the odds of the Fed rate hike here this week. But I actually cut out this graphic last night for this presentation, or it might have been just early this morning, and the odds were up above 90%. They've come back down to 80%. That might not seem like a lot, but keep in mind, this rate decision is literally tomorrow, and the FOMC are already meeting. And for the odds of a Fed rate hike to be fluctuating 10 to 20%, 24 hours before the potential rate hike, this is pretty unheard of. And I don't think it's any coincidence, Brendan, that you're finding these fluctuations around these odds here at 90% this morning, now down to 80%. And the odds of another hike went from actually 30% for the rest of the year, any more rate hiking for the rest of the year. And I checked that right before the show. That's down to 10 to 15%. And really overwhelming odds moving in the direction of rate cuts sooner rather than later. And a lot of it is coming from the debt ceiling fear that we actually talked about last week and the banking crisis. It's really going to be an interesting meeting tomorrow to, one, see whether or not they hike rates. Of course, with these fluctuations in mind, it's something to monitor. It's very interesting, but overwhelmingly likely that they will hike rates tomorrow. But the rhetoric that comes out of the Fed will be really, really interesting because, like I say, it's no coincidence we're seeing these fluctuations with the fear that's pouring in from the banking sector and whether or not the Treasury has enough money to pay its bills that are coming up in June. But also, this is potentially the last rate hike that they're looking at here. And the question is becoming, whether they hike just a cut by the end of the year, or tomorrow they come out and surprise, but in the opposite direction of Australia and say, actually, no hike at all. It still looks like they are going to hike, but we'll see what they say afterwards. If you see any language about, we're not so worried about inflation anymore, we're going to hit that target, or we are worried about the banking crisis, this or that, you might see interest rates fall. And I do wonder what that could mean for the stock market. I don't know what you think.
I mean, going back to the last decision that we had a month ago, or I guess it was a little bit more than a month ago now, everyone was on that bandwagon of, they're going to pause, and then they came out and still came through with the hike. So a month later now, here we are having the same conversation essentially, and we saw even after the quarter point hike last time we get, the market rallies 2-3% in the following days. I want to point out, I want to talk a little bit about this the data that we've seen between then and now, specifically that PCE number that came out, still showing, some certain areas that were a little bit sticky as far as inflation is concerned. Do they lean on that? Do they lean on the fact that inflation overall, as your next chart here so very well shows, has come down significantly? I mean, just going back to last summer, everyone needs to remember where we were at this point, I think.
Yeah, inflation is definitely trending lower, and these fears that I highlight that are fluctuating the odds this week up until tomorrow's meeting, where again, I agree with you there, Brendan, and your allusion to they're probably still going to come out and hike. But yeah, the longer term question of, is inflation trending so low that we're going to hit that long term target of 2% by the end of this year? We haven't seen too many scary inflation numbers for the last several months. As you can see, we've been trending lower month over month since June. We put in that high of 9% inflation in the US. They want this number down to 2%, but you do highlight that we did get an inflationary number I believe it was last week, that was higher than expected. And we have a non-farm payrolls here on Friday. If they come out and hike, they say that we're still looking at inflation and everything else. And we get a non-farm on Friday, Brendan, that is higher than 180,000 jobs, maybe 250, even up to 300. That would be a signifier that inflation is still here. But what's been really interesting is when inflation was running rampant in May, June, July of last year, and interest rates were really starting to run up from 2% to 3%. And there was a lot of unknowns around how high interest rates had to get, how bad inflation was going to get. That was negatively correlated to the stock market. Correlations have absolutely flipped. And I wanted to show you here some of the correlations in the last month. And of course, correlation is a measure of how likely two markets are to move in the same direction here. If we can, bring up this piece here, you'll see the correlation between interest rates and bank and oil stocks very highly positively correlated. And on the reverse here, interest rates very negatively correlated to gold and Japanese yen, which are traditional flights to quality and more risk off fear markets. And the point that I'm trying to highlight here is we've gone from in 2022, higher inflation, higher interest rates being correlated to downside in the stock market to quite the reverse here. And I think that we're both in the same camp, Brendan. You could correct me if I'm wrong, thinking that if the Fed comes out tomorrow, they hike the 25 basis points and they don't even reference the banking crisis or the debt ceiling or anything like that. They are thinking that those are problems that will be alleviated. I think that'll be net bullish for the stock market. If they come out, they hold, or they do hike and then talk about potential fears, potential for cutting interest rates, which last year we might have thought interest rate cuts, that's good for stocks. That might inject more fear into the stock market. It's been interesting to see those correlations flip. Interest rates in 2022, bad for stocks. In 23, higher interest rates, almost a vote of confidence for the stock market.
It seems it continues to trend in that direction, but we'll see, as you said, coming up tomorrow if that continues to be the case. Specifically for the NASDAQ and tech, 2 or 3 individual names in that group up 90+% on the year. As you saw on that chart, interest rates go up, inflation overall still trending to the downside. I wanted to wrap up with the euro here, but before we do, give me your thought on what actually happens to the dollar specifically if that is the case. If they come out and they say, yeah, it's a quarter point, but we're done, let's see what happens now.
Yeah, I think that that's going to be pretty bad for the U.S. dollar. It seems like the worm has turned on USD here in 2023, and anything indicating interest rate weakness or even holding unchanged up here at 5%, I think is bad for the U.S. dollar, given the trends that we've been seeing here in 23. And you can see that euro has been regaining a lot of ground that it lost in 22 here in 23 against USD. And that's been in line with, like you allude to, the U.S. being kind of at the end of their rate hikes here. And I think that if we get the hike and we get the rhetoric around, we're going to be holding here, looking at whether or not we need to cut if inflation gets to our 2% target by the end of the year, this euro could likely find just that bullish. And then if you sprinkle on top of that, Brendan, the fact that the Eurozone has their interest rate decision on Thursday morning, if they come out and hike 25 basis points, or, Australia reminds us that these odds and everything are one thing. They're nice to look at. They give us the greatest likelihood of what should occur, but surprises are always able to occur here. Australia just did it. There's nothing that says the Eurozone can't come out and say, hey, we're hiking 50 basis points, because their inflation is higher than that of the US. And if they come out and do something like that, then you could really see some significant downside in the US dollar. But if they both hike 25 basis points, they both are relatively mum on the state of inflation, what they're going to do on the future, then you'd likely see that Euro USD hovering around 110 throughout the rest of the week here.
Almost seems as we get to, as you said, the end of a hiking cycle, that's when you start to see some surprises come in, because at some point along the line, they're going to change directions. They're going to go from hiking to pausing, but all remains to be seen. Big day to come tomorrow. Big rest of the week to come as well. Lots to watch out for. Frank Caberna is Senior Content Strategist over at IG US. A pleasure as always. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Brendan.
As always, yeah, thank you so much, Frank. I mean, the chat absolutely loves it. He's a very smart guy, and he's funny, too. I just love what's great about Friends of the Show is, like, you can come on, and it's like, it's so comfortable being able to talk to and listen to Frank every single time, and I'm glad we always have his perspective, especially, is the reason why you have him on a day before the Fed, because that's when it matters the most. We got to be able to have him on every single time before we're going to be dealing with these things. And I heard someone in the chat, or saw someone in the chat talking about Volcker.
Right.
Volcker, because it's like someone said in the chat there, Volcker would have been at 10%
the other way,
right now. But remember, it was a very different time. Like, yes, he was aggressive, but there's a little more debt now than there was back then. That's the only point I was making in response to that. Minim, M-I-N-M, so it got weird because it halted to the upside and then jammed back to the down, looked like it was gonna flush. It opened down, bounced off 10, broke to 14, and is right back here at 12. So that move to 14, that's one heck of a topping candle. If I had paid for locates, I probably would. I might have been taking a shot at 12. Not that I would hold it $2 against me. I'd probably be thinking 12 short with a 12.50 stop, but I didn't pay for locates. And right now the spread's 30 cents. So I'm kind of glad I didn't, because I'd probably force a trade that I don't think is necessarily there. I got wicked out or trailed out of PAC-W. I said if it broke down, I would wait for maybe sixes, and then it broke and held VWAP and is headed back to the upside. I didn't see if this wick was real or not back into 720. I want to say no, but I don't want to rule it out. So I might be able to catch a reload off these levels one more time, but it's been a while on PAC-W that it has not really broken down. It's more of a scalp trade. You can get I was able to get like 715 to 720, back down into like 675, which is pretty solid, but that's not nearly what that stock was giving you before.
Yeah, great to have Frank on, and thanks again, Frank, for that. And yeah, we will await that Brendan subscribe button, because I think it
exists.
Yeah, well, it doesn't exist until we have it.
I'm pretty sure the boys could hit it.
Yeah, they probably could. All right, so what we're done here, what we've been doing on Microsoft is just averaging into the short and getting out. We actually have a 60 fill, we have a 70 fill, and it's not, the market rate here is just hovering. I'm going to talk, the bigger position right now is Amazon, but it's not moving. So we can go over to Amazon right now and have a quick look at it. We're still in Apple. I mean, Apple's a monster for me right now, $1.40 in the money as we try to hold on to that one. But we're holding on for dear life right now on Amazon because it's right up here. It's right at a kill spot for us. I don't necessarily want to be short this name. I mean, I thought we'd get short and then be able to get out, but you could see the best outs we've had is like 68s and nothing more. So yeah, it's not heading to the downside. Microsoft at least is fluctuating back and forth. This name wants to hold out to the high side, and it seems like we do want to take it out. So we're going to, if we can get anything in the 70s, we're only short 73 right now. I feel like I want to take a little bit out. We'll use a gateway where we get paid on it, so maybe we can at least get some rebates. But if I can get a 75, fine. It's holding out to the high side right now with some size on the bid. So, 128 right there. It's not that there's also 150 there. So it's not that we're afraid of that, but there are buyers down here and in a low volume environment right now. It's done 60 million shares, but actually we're in power hour right now. So as we head into 3 o'clock, hopefully we can get a little bit more movement on this name, but it does look like it's holding out on the high side for a reason. So Amazon right now is looking strong, obviously not weak, and you're up almost at 2%. So I feel like this stock will take us out, which is completely fine. Like this will be a 10 or 15 cent hit. So, again, that's the thing that you got to understand when you're trading is take the risks associated with whatever account you're on. And right now, like if I'm trading here with our boy Amazon, we know that it's a pretty strong name. So we got to, take the appropriate share size, especially if you're going short. If you're going long at a great level, different story when you have a strong name, right? So we're just going to ease back on this a little bit, but let's look out for our Apple, because this Apple right now is all the way back to 169 again. We're bottom picking right there. So Apple's my number one name by far today. It's not even close. Well, Meta's pretty close, but almost double that of Apple. We're almost doubled on Apple. Short early off 170. That really paid, man. And then we went long down here at 167 and change. So now you're seeing what's happening. It's a nice extension back up through 169. Maybe we just got that wick top right here. So we'll have to watch out for that. 169.15 as now it's pulling back, but it's only pulling back 10 cents. So let's give Apple some room here, especially with the NASDAQ. NASDAQ failing at 13, but I think you're right at 13.2 right now. So you're at a spot here where we're going to have to decide what's good. So yeah, we'll watch out for Apple, but it looks like it does want to, at least hang out a little bit. The NASDAQ's hanging out and going higher, and there it is right now. Amazon looks like there it is. So finally, not finally, we'll flush ourselves down the toilet for that last piece, but Amazon, we've made back a lot there going, back and forth. And right there, we do get flushed out, take a little bit of profit, and then there's the 15-cent hit as we take out 86s on Amazon. I think we'll be done for that for now. Just watch Apple and some of these other names continue to fly higher. With Microsoft, we're going to get out of that one if we take basically 306, so we're waiting for that to happen.
Yeah, and just jumping back over, because you talked about a strong name. AMD's pretty strong, man. This might be the last time we're shorting this if the futures and the market doesn't roll over more heavily. It just gave some over 90s and is now starting to come back in. As you were saying that, I'm like, yeah, Amazon's going up too, huh? Because this was really starting to charge back to the upside. I got some overfills at 90, and as it gets back underneath 90, I'm just going to be taking it out. I'm not even thinking we get VWAP at this point. It seems a little bit too strong for that. And going into earnings, sometimes you see like a decent trend into earnings. I like the resistance level on it, but I want to respect the fact that it's not dropping like it did before. Like that last bounce while Frank was talking, it's like it was at 60s and then it was at 90s in the blink of an eye. Like that's a 3-minute candle, but trust me, it moved up a little faster than it might seem. So I just got a piece out there. I want to start relieving some pressure on this name. I probably got wicked out of packed LE units, still pretty solid. I'm looking back over it. And again, I know some people are watching this stock. That minimum really should have. Now I'm kicking myself for not paying for the locates, because that second move up, like this candle to go to 14 and back to 12, that's like that hammer down that you're looking for a short trade off 12 even, and now it's really working. But if you're long this, maybe you're still in the money. Hopefully you didn't chase the top. This is why we say you can't go broke taking profit. I saw in the chat a couple of people saying that they had gotten out in and around that 12 level. I think that's a pretty solid out if you got it. So the shorts are starting to come back in with the futures. I was lucky to be able to, got pretty close up there with AMD. I was pretty fortunate not to have gotten stopped out on it up at that high. Now we can try working out of this one back into VWAP.
Not fortunate as I, but we put back half of our position. So we actually got Amazon back in as well. So now look at this. I get stopped out, and then Amazon goes the very next candle off. Effing go right now. Again, we are this position. I actually got out of 100%. What we did was we retook the short right there. I don't know what to tell you, man. We saw the future starting to collapse down. And I was like, nah. Look at that, Phil. 56. Wow. So you guys just saw me take, and I'll tell you the hit. What was it, 13 cents? What we took on that hit to the upside. We got out 86, our average price. It's showing 13 cents. So yeah, so we take a 13-cent hit there on Amazon, and then it just drops right back in again, and we take that money back with more than that money back. I'm going to take out one more piece here, just in case it, we'll take a 63 bid. There it is. Yes, sir. As there are 2 Canadian teams left in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Yeah, there's Edmonton and the T-Dot.
Edmonton has this dude that's really good at hockey. I don't know.
Yeah, Wayne Gretzky.
It slips my mind.
Yeah, no, he's amazing. And, we have, our offense is on par with those guys. I think we're better defense as well. But, yeah, no, how sick would that be? That would be my dream final, of course.
Could you imagine?
I think it's the NHL's dream final as well, despite not having a major market in there. They lost New York. They lost LA, and so now maybe they are cheering for an all-Canadian final. We'll see. But yeah, right there's the Amazon, nice pullback down. And then, of course, here's 25 cents in the money for Microsoft. Almost called it something else there, Sharif. But wait a minute, Sharif ain't here. There's nice move down. Yes, sir.
He heard you
There we go
somewhere.
right now. So let's go. We'll go. Oh, my God.
Oh my God.
Because the shorts be printing right now back down to the downside. We just get a nice little fill there for 30 cents on Microsoft. And then we will hold on to Amazon as it's just gapped up a little bit. We're out at 30% of that reloaded position. So far so good on all that. Uber still up that 11%. Microsoft really trying to fall down. And then Apple, we talked about where it was right here, ticked out to that high. You know, now we're dropped down below 169. I feel like you could maybe get out now. But the thing is that it's strong, Apple, today. We talked about that. It's on the sticky note.
Oh.
But are we going to go below the 50 period? I'd like to see us. Now we're below 13.2. And I mean, it's just a 1 minute chart. So what's up, Randy, over there on the ones and twos? I see that guy. But yeah, 169.
Oh,
Let's just see if that can hold. I mean, this has been a great long from Microsoft bottom. We don't have anything out up here. So yeah, we could probably get out 168.95. I mean, that's all right, fine. If we take 88, oh man, 88, what's up with that today? Yeah, we take 88, we'll get out, man. That's that bottom wick. Let's just get out. So take of 88, we're gone on this trade. We're $1.35 in the money, so we'll get $1.25. A take of 169.88, and we're out of this name, guys. Apple.
I didn't think this would happen, but I just got a fill there. So Bed Bath & Beyond just flushed it again, like give me a break. It was just at 8, it flushed to 7. I took some out there. I might get some more shares out. It's power hour, man. We're running out of time. I should get a little bit more aggressive and try and taking more shares out here. I don't have that much left because we got the most out on the first move into 7 even. They're gone tomorrow. We'll see where they end up there. And AMD, I took some out, but it does still look strong. Probably the last ditch effort for me in front of that high. So 90.30. That's that triple top. I just reloaded for what might be the last time. We'll see. If it runs the stops, fair enough. This one's reporting aftermarket. This is probably the big earnings name that everyone's concerned with. At least I think it is. So if it gets to the downside, back beneath 90, we'll look to get some bids out. But I feel like this one's starting to get pretty strong. As I was saying over there, that MINM, if you're still trading it, yeah, that one might be done. A lot of times I'll think about, okay, well, it dipped off 10 once. Would I want to go long again? The way that rejected 12 even, I find it, I just can't do it. Like a lot of times you're saying, okay, well, right now it just bounced off 10 even. You, in theory, could just get on the bid at 10 and give it to 9.40. You're risking less than $1. 12 is the resistance level. So in theory, it sets up. I'm going to back away from this, man. It doesn't feel right. And yeah, you know what? I just saw in the chat mentioning top and Alphabet. I'll go to Alphabet first and go to top. Alphabet does feel a little bit weak, but the problem with that is the 105 level was so big yesterday. I traded long off there, I traded short off of it, and it's holding above. So yes, it's relatively weak, but it's above what is theoretically that kind of like big support level, and it's not really moving. So Google's not there at the zone for me. I like AMD just because I know it's at that high, breaks the high, can get out. And what is dead shall, whatever. I'm not even going to try and make up a rising from the dead joke or anything for top, because quite frankly, it's up $15, and somehow that's not even that big of a deal, right? Like always try to keep in perspective. The good thing I think that maybe you can learn from this is that first wipeout bottom after the stock went nuts was at $48. $48. Like, so here's the previous, this is an aftermarket top 48. You basically made a 48 low here. Fast forward a couple of days. Another time you retest 48 at the close. You then have a pivot at 48 today. Then you're breaking out in the afternoon at $48. Sometimes these key price levels, like that was a wipeout bottom on the first down move on top, and it's the same price it breaks out from today. So if you're only trading top, let's just say for whatever reason, I wouldn't be, but if you are, you're probably just waiting around for it to get back above that price to jam the long. And if you were long going into it, that was probably your stop this morning. So it's up a bunch. I'm not even going to dare to see what the locates are. It's probably not worth it this late in the day. But yeah, top, it's moving, but remember how far that thing moved last time. So it's not even that big of a deal. Ooh, I'm going to get some NCLH out here as that just popped off you up again. I'm going to go back to the well maybe. There we go, just get on the offer. I'm going to go back to the well. Ring the register, just go back to VWAP over and over again. The market's starting to jam to the upside. AMD is a couple of cents away from stopping out. I kind of felt like that was going to happen eventually. You go to the well till the well runs dry, and that well is running dry. There's a stop out on AMD. So we rang the register as many times as we can, but eventually it's going to go to,
there's some news or something.
Something just took the markets up. But anyways, I'm out because that just broke the highs. We're going to hold on to my NCLH. I want that high of the day there.
Yeah, we're like in a roller coaster right here with Microsoft. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like we were just in the money, out of the money. Now we're going to get stopped out right now as Microsoft continues to go higher and higher. So I feel like there is something that just got released there because just by the way the market is moving, there we go. So we're going to get out of that. We got out of everything right now. Apple, Amazon, Microsoft. I wonder if, I'm just waiting. I know Brendan's right there, and if there's anything that comes across, he'll get it to us. Maybe it's nothing. Could have just been a daybreak high. I mean, we could have just broke this level, but we didn't even break it, so I don't know.
The NASDAQ didn't break the top, did it? No.
You know what? I'm going to try Microsoft one more time here at 05. We just got taken out on not on a bad price. I mean, I could have adjusted it. I just, the market was just going a little crazy there, and I wanted to make sure that we did get out of it. Our Amazon, man, we reloaded that one and actually did quite well on it, so I don't have any problem. We just got out just before that rally happened at 63 right there. So, yeah, man, we're back into the short of Microsoft, and then what was that high wick? I just want to get out if we retake that again. 20s. So, all right, we're going to put that stop in right now, 306.20 or so, and we're going to get out if it does take that. So we'll watch out for that take back up to the high side. If it goes one more time, then fine. This is, again, so, sort of about the terminology. Like, I'm not back in this because I'm like upset or like revenge trading, right? Stretching the imagination. It's just, that's trading like there was some sort of a liquidity event right there. And
but there wasn't any news, that's the key.
Right, I just don't know what it is. There still could be some news, no news that we know of.
None that we know of.
But yeah, anyways, let's just wait. It could be no news. I mean, Microsoft, Apple, look at Apple. They all spiked up there, right? So we're still long Apple. We're $1.70 now in the money on Apple, so it's all good. But we do want to make sure that we do take a little bit of profit on this one if it does come back. We lost about 10 cents on that last piece, so let's put a bid down in the 90s, see if we get that. Then we'll put something in the 80s and see if we get that. And then after that, we'll stop saying that. So hopefully it comes back in right now for Microsoft. And yeah, shorts just getting blown out maybe. Yeah, that could have been it. I mean, I was short and got taken out
Bo
there.
Diddley.
So there's some of that right there. But yeah, maybe we'll get out of some. Apple almost turned green, by the way, right there.
Bo Diddley in the chat. Shorts just sharting.
I saw that. I didn't want to say it, but that's
is that a bad word? That's not really a
Sharted?
Shart?
Well, I mean, I just said it.
That's not that bad.
I do think it's bad.
Is it really? Like, okay, fine.
Well, I mean, if you say I just sharted myself, yeah, that's bad.
No, it's a negative connotation, but you can say it. It's not like it's not cursing or anything.
Yeah. Why is this still on me here? Hey, what's up, Randy?
What's up, boy?
I'm staring at it.
That's what's up. Randy's on the ones and twos right now. I'm wondering what's going on.
Yeah, remember
here.
I was like, yo, what's up, Randy?
I did miss
Randy's doing quite the good job over there, I must admit.
Randy, find the Brendan
He doesn't have it. I don't know if it I really don't think it's been like coded or anything yet. So like properly so it fits our. Yeah, we're looking. The only thing on Brendan
I love that camera angle. We don't use that enough.
I only have this one. The Dada. That's the only one I have there.
I have this one.
Yay, 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 the goat? Yay, yay. Everyone likes that one?
I like that one.
So do I.
Quite frankly, I'll hit that one because I happen to like it, and if you guys don't like it, that's fine. I'm okay with it. I just really like that one because why not? Brendan is the GOAT. The GOAT. The GOAT. Whatever. It doesn't really matter. What's going on here? Minim, I know that's making some kind of moves there. AMD, why didn't I just reverse? Well, I wasn't completely convinced. Like, if the market, so the reason I don't reverse at a key level like that is like we're still at resistance on a downward trending day, and is AMD really going to break out going into earnings? I need to see some bigger volume and a confirmation. There hasn't even been, you can't see volume on here. Can I just do?
Like, that should be I mean, someone in the chat just said it, right? But that's a sheep. There, not a goat, but
wait. We take what we can get.
We do take what we can get. So
look, let's be real. You guys know the situation. We strongly suggest for those of you that are capable for doing better, we gladly welcome that you send us in ideas.
We did see a viewer did have a good one.
A viewer sent in a great one. We got we're not so stuck up that we don't want to see improvement on the show. No, man, if you can improve on anything we got up there, we're going to do it. and put it on there. So I understand. I just like the sound effect on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, not a big volume spike on AMD there as it was trying to break the high. Decent one, but not huge. If it was more volume, I think I'd be looking for that reversal into the long. It still might even be valid for the short. So I'm not racing into any kind of a reversal play. You found that one already?
Yeah, so right here. So what's up to Jason Miller? What do you guys think about this one? Like, so it's Sharif. He's fishing, bang. And he gets hit out, the hat even goes. I really like this one. So we've already got this. I don't know what the audio is on that one, but Adobe right there. I like that. I say we hire Mr. Jason Miller for all this, because if he's thinking funny stuff like that, man, then he's a friend of ours. So I like that one. What's up to Sharif? He needs some more animations there. He's chilling. And he has a different face there for Sharif, so I really like that. Shout out to you, Jason Miller. Thank you again for tagging us in that, and I know that's been brought to our attention.
Oh, come on.
Look at Microsoft right now. Hallelujah. We're short again on it, but again, like, we get stopped out, and then it does this. So, all right, we're still going to be positive on Microsoft, obviously. Everything is fine, but never with the full amount of shares, right? Because we get stopped out. It just, like, as if it just takes 20 there and gets out. Look at this drop down there. This is what I mean about there being news and, like, we don't know about it. Now, I don't know if, again, like, it just jumped up there and then came right back down really quick. So, yeah, there goes. Oh, man, Apple. So Apple did make that move again. This is probably a decent spot. We're still holding out for that level. But, hey, man, if we can get 45 cents, which we can get, which we are getting right now. So we'll spend some money. Look at Microsoft bleed to the downside right now. And, of course, we did get stopped out of our Amazon short, which is still not even that great. Amazon, we just took, look at that fill. 84s out 90s. You know, but some of these profits are 60s, so that's like 30 cents, 25, 50 cents, so on and so forth. So easily done on that, but Microsoft just hits again down here. Let's hold, man. I don't know what that move is, but it retraced all the way back into the 50 period, and we're going to hold on to our Microsoft trade there as well. But so far, so good, man. I don't know what this MINM is doing.
It's over. Well,
no, it's not really. It's
not
950.
really over.
It's actually holding out the bid pretty good right here. Google down 1.6%. Microsoft's still green on the day.
I mean, it's higher. It's holding a trend potentially, but I just feel like that was a hammer reversal there at 12 even. So we'll see. I don't want to trade it. I just jumped back into AMD. I talked about why I didn't really want to favor playing the breakout on it, so I'm kind of back into the short at a better price. But I think you got to give it to 50 at this point. Could be wrong there, but I looked over and like right after, so I just got back into AMD and then realized how weak NVIDIA is, relatively speaking. Like NVIDIA VWAP 284, that's probably a better play. Now, I don't mind, like the setup is fine off that high. I know where I'm wrong on AMD. We can still work off that top, but I mean, NVIDIA 284 does look like a better setup to me. And even then, I bet you all look at Intel and like that. Yeah, look at an Intel at $30. These are both weaker names in here. That's what I should be working with, NVIDIA or Intel. But I'm focused on AMD because they have earnings. Maybe that's the wrong thing. I might jump over to one of these two. I'm kind of thinking it might be NVIDIA, though. Just more opportunity there.
We just put a stop right there at the 50 period, 168.95. So if Apple breaks it, I'm going to ask about AMD. If Apple breaks this level right here, then we're going to get out. So we're pretty jacked up about that. We'll see if that can break because we do have a nice winner on. It's $1.50 in the money. And then we have, the thing is I'm long Apple, short Microsoft, and actually the same amount of shares. So that's why I'm feeling like the short is good there. I don't know what that little break was. I feel like the short is better than the long. So we'll get out of Apple. Could be completely wrong on that. Okay, 8 Ball, it's time for you to shine. All right. Will AMD be, I'm not asking if it's going to beat. I'm just going to ask it, is AMD going to be higher tomorrow?
Oh, we didn't do
yes or no. That's it.
Oh, okay, just up or down.
Simply put,
okay, keep it simple. Keep it simple.
Will AMD open?
So 9:30.
Yeah, because we have Fed.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You know, so
okay,
I don't want Fed to influence
I see,
8 Ball.
I see.
So like it needs to know, what I've learned
8 Ball.
about 8 Ball is that it's like chat, GPT. You have to ask it exactly what you want, and hopefully it'll tell you what you want. So,
8 Ball grants
all right,
all wishes.
8 Ball. Will AMD be higher tomorrow at open than today's closing price?
It's going to be that
I cannot be more specific than that.
It's going to be that Apple answer.
Don't count on it. Ooh. So it's thinking AMD is lower tomorrow. The magic 8
the
ball.
bearish magic 8 ball.
Please
Well,
do
it's not so
not
magic when it's bearish.
put much more than your life savings into that prediction because it is just an 8 ball. Man, now we're 60 cents in the money on Microsoft and trying to print a little lower.
Expected move
lower.
6%, by the way. We didn't mention this just very quickly.
To that.
Yeah, the expected move doesn't mean that's how far it'll go. We've seen more or less. It doesn't make a difference. But 6% is the expected move on earnings here for advanced micro devices. I would tend to think that there's more room than that, but I could be wrong. I just offered NVIDIA, but I just got back into AMD. We'll go back to you. I just want to make sure people saw. They're expecting 6%, but we saw more out of Microsoft and more out of Meta. Let's see if one of the chip names can also beat that target. Hopefully upside though.
Yeah, somebody on Twitter just, I'm not going to blast out people's names on Twitter, but on a DM sent me this. So thanks, Randy, for that. There we go. There's a little look. The guy clicked it. So there's a shout out there. This is the look that we're all talking about there. The death stare coming through. So shout out. You know who you are there on Twitter. Thank you. As I just saw a DM flashing. So thank you for that. All right. I might put a stop on Microsoft. It's 320 right now. Yeah. And I don't know. I said I thought the short was better than the long, though. So I have a stop on Microsoft. I have a stop on Apple because we're long on that one. But maybe we're wrong on that. All right. 305, 306. I mean,
get down.
You know, I like to use this as a trend change of 50 period. So it kind of that's where we got out the first time on the move down right there at 80. I wonder if we just take 80 again. Yeah, we don't want to be too off sides on this. Let's, unfortunately, the 3 minute. Yeah, I mean, even the 50 period, even the 50 period on the 3 minute is at that 80 mark. 306, 306. I mean, it just keeps wicking up. All right. Now you're coming down. So let's hold it.
It's going down.
Let's hold it. I'm not going to do anything on that one. All right, Shopify, it's going down. They say timber. So let's go to the downside right now. Shopify, talk about a stock that's another Canadian legend that has, I was going to say it's been crushed. But we'll talk, because Bed Bath & Beyond, or not Bed Bath & Beyond,
BlackBerry with the restructuring
was up 8%.
But you know this, if you own the crown as the #1 tech company in Canada, it is essentially a curse. Like anytime there's one Canadian tech firm that's like way out there in front, I'm talking Nortel, I'm talking RIM, BlackBerry, Shopify. Shopify at least is still a company.
And that's End.
That's pretty much it. Although, you know,
Lightspeed.
If you read the tea leaves, the old story with Nortel was that a certain country might have been stealing inside secrets. And that's part of the reason that Nortel lost their dominance. Now, I'm not going to name said country, but I'm sure you guys, if you can find it online. But yeah, you can tell I know some people that worked in Nortel. My family worked in Nortel. It's a great company, but they did fall behind. And that's the same thing with BlackBerry. Well, BlackBerry was more self-inflicted, I want to say. RIM, as they put. Why can't we break 90 on AMD, and why shouldn't I be then, of course, trying to scalp in front of it? Because this has now just bounced off 90 a couple of times, and yeah, I got one overfill there. I got some in the 20s. I should be taking some out tight to that 90 level. If it wants to hold a round number, this is trending to the upside. I should not be getting greedy with this. Strong move there for AMD going into earnings. I need to trim some. It is 5 minutes until we get the early look on the imbalances at 3:30, which means it's late in the day and it's more scalp trades anyways, more than anything else. I don't know if we're going to get huge flushes, so I'm just going to ring the register. We're running out of time. We want to make sure that we get some profit out of this and see what happens. Nick Clemenzi, Bre-X, my high school accounting project, no word of a lie, was like, yeah, basically, it's not really an audit, but you take the annual report and you do a report on a company. I actually did Bre-X. This was before, I didn't sniff anything out. I just garbage report. And then I remember like a couple of years later, I'm like, oh, no way. That's kind of funny. My report didn't say anything about that one going under, but I was a high school kid. What the hell was I supposed to know?
You probably stamped a buy reco on that.
Oh, you know what? I did. I probably was Miss Dawson. I was
if there
like,
was any gold name to buy.
This is the one, according to my OAC accounting report.
Yeah, we used to have grade 13 in Ontario.
That's right. They don't do that anymore.
Neil and I are just out of high school about 5 years, so they just changed that in the last half decade. So, exactly. Okay, over to Brendo.
5 times 10? No, 4. Anyways, no. ASNS, 8.5, just got taken out there. Another one of these crazy things. Halted all afternoon here to the upside, just took out day highs there. 1.4 staggering million shares, guys.
Oh, come on.
Look, I know we're all the same age there, but just because Brendan looks better than all of us doesn't mean he has to throw some shade at us there. Decade times. Wow, Brendo. Wow.
It's because
but
he
that's
has
okay.
less gray hair, and we both know the reason. So, anyways.
Oh, he's the smartest guy in the room. I mean, I'm sitting here like right now, I'm all stressed out. Like, oh, do we have Little League practice? We don't. It's canceled. You know, now I got to figure out, take my kid to hockey. Okay, fine, more stress. Blah, 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 blah. Randy, you know Randy's on this when he's getting this view right now.
I love that view. It's swimming tonight, man. I actually like swimming because this is my daughter's. She's a little tall for her age, but like her swimming class, now that she's moved up, like it's all bigger kids.
Yep.
And she does so much better when she's with for obvious reasons, right? Like when there's bigger kids in the class, like she applies herself
swimmer,
more.
No?
Well, I mean, she gets it not from me because I am a horrible swimmer.
Right,
like
that's right. I know.
every stereotype you can think about, like I don't skate very well. I hate winter sports and I don't swim. But my wife is an amazing swimmer, and so my daughter definitely takes after her. Like none of that nonsense comes from me. Like trust me. Like I'm that dude. Like you got to worry about me. I'm not going to drown if you throw me in the water, but you know, you got to watch out because I'm not that guy. I'm that dude.
Come on, man. I mean, swimming's easy.
This is actually very true. I'm not making this up, and this is not something people say this all the time. But it's true.
You used to come to my pool.
We have more dense bones. It's harder for me to float than the average person. That's an actual fact. We used to sneak into Sean's pool in high school. Well, we didn't sneak into it. Actually, here's how it worked out. Sean would go on vacation.
This is 5 years ago.
Sean would go on vacation when we were in high school. And let's just say that his mom was very, very sweet and very kind to his friends and would leave the gate open for us. Yeah. So that we could go and swim in Sean's pool when they were on vacation.
Thank God he didn't drown, because I wonder what the insurance would have been on that.
Well, we just sue George.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
My family.
Yeah. Whatever, man.
Whatever.
And the best part is, like, she'd be like, and there's burgers in the fridge.
Yeah, I know, what a joke. Why was he even leaving the door open?
So even the patio door was open, and there was burgers in the fridge. And y'all keep telling the story over and over again. I don't care.
See,
it's
Chris
amazing.
J can swim there.
Who can swim?
I don't know. You say some black
I'm not
person.
saying you can't swim if you're black. I'm just saying I can't.
It sounded like you're using that as an excuse.
Oh, I'm damn sure using it as an excuse. Hell yeah. Hey.
Your mom's a saint. Thank you, D-Loaf. I definitely appreciate that
Deborah
one.
is a saint.
Yep,
She is a saint.
Yeah, no, I remember. I remember
Debs.
you guys.
Debs is awesome.
You guys were like sending I don't know if we had cell phones back then. I don't think we did, to be honest with you.
Probably
so I don't know. You guys weren't sending pictures, but that would have been funny if that was good to go.
Thank you, Debs.
Yes, Darwin. Yes, Neil is black. That's a good one. Okay. Although we've joked about that. We have so many stories. It's stupid. Okay, but right now Apple. Yeah, the whitest black guy around is there's so many stories. But okay, let's just go on, man. Yeah, I loving beach life. I mean, I think that we're both going to retire at some point on a beach, and I joked about that earlier today, and I'm not even that joking.
What do you do when you retire, though?
That's why I probably can never do it. My dad is still not retired. Here's today. Look how lovely it is here. We're outside the Trader TV Live building right now. This was right before I went on with Sharif. Beautiful skies. Like how is Little League rained out today? I have the field's not in great condition apparently there, but anyone can come visit us here at Trader TV Live. Google the address, come by, ring that closing bell, say hi to Katrine, because ain't no one want to say hi to us. And she's right there behind. AMD is taking down 90 right now.
Yeah, it finally hit
flat
that 90
right here,
level.
by the way.
I did get another leg out there. And again, if it really starts to flush, fine. But if the range it's tightening up the range. We're going to get the early look in about literally 15 seconds. So this will be the only. I mean, I still have some Bed Bath & Beyond. I guess I still have NCLH, and I got to maybe be concerned about that because it's really slowed down. That said, look, I'm not going to want to dip by here. I'm not going to get the high of the day either.
Oh, shit.
I'll go probably 14.5 to get out of this. And this is 2 days in a row. I'm not sure there's going to be a third. And then Bed Bath & Beyond, I got a couple more fills down here as it hits 7.2. It keeps on wicking. These are dark pool wicks at 7 even. So it's not really going there. It's just kind of flushing in. And then dark pool prints are going off at 7 and 8. The real low is 7.2 on Bed Bath & Beyond if you happen to be trading it. And Minim, yeah, what are you going to do? It's actually Scalp City between $8.50 to $10. Just back and forth and back and forth. But it's holding the high at least. If it holds $9, congratulations to everyone that's got it. I don't think I'll be trading it. And 152 million sell side imbalance. So
oh my God.
that's kind of a nothing burger, obviously. What are you going to do? Tesla broke the low apparently.
Did it?
Yes, it did. It's at 159.60. So Tesla.
can't
The
believe we're
low
still
from
not
yesterday
short.
was, what was it, like 150, yeah, 159, 158.80 was the low from yesterday. So it could maybe fill in that gap to going into the close.
Amazon's giving it up here as well, but we have a new position alert. It's the same stock, but it's a new position alert. It is Apple. So we got out of our Apple when it broke here, 195. We talked about, 168.95. We just engaged another short right now as this market trying to break down. We have Fed tomorrow. We talked to Frank there today, but I really feel like Frank might have been accurate about that. Interest rates maybe a good thing right now that they raise, because if they signal too much trouble in the water, people may say that, hey, if they hold off on the raise, it's because of the banking crisis, it's because of possibly what else is under the hood on some of these companies. Where are we with the debt ceiling? Where are we with the money printer possibly turning off at some point? So we're gonna have to, or maybe it already has, we're gonna wait to see about inflation number. We have the jobs report coming on Friday as well. So I didn't flow into a negative territory here. This is some popular large cap stocks that are at 52-week lows today. ADT, IEP, we saw that with Carl Icahn Enterprises right there. I think it's probably a New York stock. IEP, no, it's a NASDAQ stock. Okay, down 22% today. Also, Keurig, Dr. Pepper. 52-week low. That's a little bit strange. Key Corp, of course, when the banks are going, that's going as well. L3 Harris is surprising to me there as well. A stock that we all trade, that we haven't traded in a while. The Chinese battered EV name, NIO, makes a brand new 52-week low today, as does Nokia. That stock still exists. US Bancorp as well. No surprise there as banking continues. And then you mentioned a little bit earlier today some cloud names, Zscaler, another one that is at 52-week lows. So that just sort of highlights, some of the big names that are there. Here's Zscaler right now in a world of hurt, actually. I don't know when they report. That's ugly too. Twilio, Zscaler, some of these big tech names, cloud names down to the downside there. Although I believe they're cloud and also storage as far as security maybe. I don't know enough about it, but that's Zscaler to the downside right there. Okay, we're reloaded. We have our Apple short. We just got some now 97. So we'll watch out for Apple. Hopefully it does come back down a little bit. We'll take something out for a dime if we get something in the 80s, and then we'll watch to see what happens here with Apple. Just playing the short. I mean, if we're going to stay underneath here, then I like Apple short. It's my number one stock today. So let's just go back to the well, what's been printing for us. And here goes Apple. We're short now 97s.
Yeah, and just I saw someone putting crypto there. I don't think we talked much about crypto today, but Bitcoin is kind of at those highs. As you've seen the banks get hit today, quite frankly, it hasn't been a good day. It's not just the regionals, it's been across the board. You've seen crypto go to the upside. So this is now that relationship, right? You're getting a bit of a, whatever you want to call it. You can call it a flight to safety. You can call it a flight to whatever you want. It's just this is going to the downside. That's what going to the upside as the banks go down. Now AMD is starting to churn a little bit more. It's going to go back to the well here. Yeah, let's pull it back. At first, I thought we wouldn't get VWAP. Now I think we can get at least close enough to it, especially with a tiny sell side imbalance. It's not huge, but it's something. Definitely worth holding our hat on. And NCLH, I'm just going to get out. If it breaks VWAP, I'm out of that one. Only long I have on here. AMD was a short we liked, but if we're being real, I did say, in hindsight's always going to be 2020. NVIDIA's trending down in the short, maybe easier. Maybe not. I don't know if it's better, but on a percent basis, obviously one stock is 3 times the other. But yeah, NVIDIA, definitely a weaker name. It just happened that AMD's off a high. Sometimes it's easier because you just put your stop at the high of the day than figuring out where you want to get out of something like an NVIDIA. But this is down 2.5% when AMD is still actually green, believe it or not. I know it's pulling back now, but AMD's green. It's NVIDIA that's having the worst day by a long shot.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier there. AMD or NVIDIA breaking that level yesterday, and then of course coming right back in today. So yeah, we'll wait for AMD today. $90, $91 where we are for that. But right now we'll just go a little flush action here because Apple, you guys see what we're short. We're short 98. There it is. There's another 20 penny winner for you. So we'll slap a fail on Apple. And we've been getting out right here at 80 and 81. So we only have half on. But I'm winning at 78. Give me that 78. Give me that 78. Oh, we're at 76. Oops. Right there. Fix that. I thought we were at 78. Canceled that and went to 76 right there. So here we go. We probably would have got that 78 there, but we were at the wrong price. Or didn't we already get it once? What did I get right there? 82. So our best fill is 82s. Let's see if it can come down. We just hit 78. We're right ahead of VWAP right there. I mean, regardless, if I don't get the price, I don't get the price. It's fine. We definitely want more on this trade anyways. Let's just take a little bit out as we are falling down here. And Apple, like I said, is the #1 stock today for myself, and it just continues to add up the net here. So that's going to be a good trade. Microsoft, we did get out when it broke that 200 period. There we go. Come on, Apple. You're right there. It's going to print me hopefully soon. Microsoft makes that move down as well. So we did pretty good to get out on that name. And then where's Amazon? Yeah, I mean, nothing's really happening right now. Maybe there's another name. Sofi? Sofi.
So dead.
So bad.
So bad.
Right now. Down
so
10%.
Bad it's good?
Oh,
no way.
I don't know if it's so bad it's good, but it was down even more than 10% earlier right there on Sofi. Yuck. 475 right there for Sofi, so yuck. Yeah, maybe a 5 break at some point. What time is it? 3:37 past.
There's another one?
Oh, another Chinese or?
Well, I don't want to make the assumption that this is
I'll check.
That a Chinese company, VCIG, but it is halted.
Well, its name is VCI Global, so I'm going to go with yes.
Probably yes. 12.50. This was at $2.63, up 375%. Yet another one going to the upside. So like, I feel like in the morning, one of the things I want to try to do, if I can find something that hasn't gone, that's at like $1 or $2 or $3, that fits the parameters, and then just set a stop order for the break. But the best thing about these, the bigger moves are happening on the late consolidation breaks. Like this is not as if, like the big move really starts happening at 3 o'clock. Like it breaks out here at 370. Like I'm wondering, maybe there's something to, I'm looking at one of my scanners and trade IDs, and it's not necessarily picking up these super low floaters. So I'm wondering if I have a filter on float that might not be catching some of these. So we'll see. I'm gonna go back and check because like sometimes they come up. Sometimes they come up on my scanner and other ones don't. But that's like this really started breaking out. The volume's so tiny on this. That's the problem. And then it kind of creeps up and creeps up.
Ugh.
But these are insane how they're actually continuing to do this on essentially nothing. Like they're not. There's no news. There's no catalyst.
It's the Chinese
There's no
government.
reason.
They're paying for those air balloons. I mean,
Yeah.
seriously, I really think this is the Chinese. I mean, they're just releasing it. This is Apple, but they're just releasing those names. They're bumping up the price. They're cashing out.
Of course
And
they
if
are.
us traders are lucky enough to get that, then great. If not,
Which is
screw
not
you.
usual.
I mean, look at VCIG. I know you're just talking about it, but like, how is now it's halted? But how is this making any sense?
Because it doesn't.
It was $3 an hour ago, Brendan. Come on, man. You didn't give us this news like before it happened? Okay,
News?
there it is right now before it happened. You see, that's the joke there.
I want it
But
before.
yeah, watch out there. It just opened back up. We can watch this live, but like the spread, like here it goes, man. VCIG, if you're in this, I'd really like to see like, because look, we have traders here that trade this, right? But it's like you really got to take the good with the bad because some days you're going to absolutely hammer it and be up tons. And then other days when you get it the wrong way, you're going to get crushed. So like, I don't know. I'm still haven't been able to add this to my portfolio of trading on how to get better at this. So I don't know, man. If someone wants to send me a video or something on maybe how they're trading these every day with some consistent profits. I know Dan Emmons sent his, I haven't looked at them yet, Dan, but he sent over his trade records. And I know you've been killing it, so congratulations. But like, how do you possibly trade this on VCIG? Like
That one's too little volume. That one's actually done. It's on 600,000 shares. There is a distinct difference.
Oh, between this and an FRC.
No, but even IMNM, like that's very, very different. This is done. Okay, now it's INM. Of course, IMNM is an actual stock.
Yeah.
So it's like
it's N. It's min.
Minimum.
It's MINM.
Minimum.
Try that one.
Minimum.
MINM.
This has done 23 million shares.
Best way to trade them are with small size.
It's night and day. But like the only times I think I've traded 2 of these in the last 2 weeks, and the way that it's actually worked out for me is to trade entirely less of them and get very, very specific on the type of entry you're willing to take. So if I could catch something early where it has a nice consolidation like that. This is too wide. Kind of looking for a little consolidation like this, where you're sitting on the bid at like 320 and then giving it to like 290, and you're risking 30 to 40 cents. If it breaks at that point, like I might have taken it here, and it wouldn't have worked. Like you get a nice little win, it eventually stops out, you don't get the home run. That's worked being positive, but it never really garners you the $3 to $14 trade, unfortunately. So it's still 150 million to sell. The market's still rolling over a little bit. I'm trailing AMD now. Just a bit of a tight trailing stop on AMD. It looks like it's okay. Yeah, minimum is now down all the way at VWAP. It looks like it's giving it up. I need to get out of Bed Bath & Beyond has a forever buyer at 7. So it just keeps, yeah, there you go. It's now bouncing back into the upside. Probably just makes some sense to take it all out here and just move on. It was a good day. Final salvo or whatever you want to call it for Bed Bath & Beyond. It gave you the 10 short, and then the rest was history. I do expect, I don't know where it's going to, I mean, it's supposed to be delisted as of Monday, or it's not Monday, the 3rd, which is, of course, tomorrow. So you'll likely not see this one tomorrow on Bed Bath & Beyond. If you do, then I'm not sure what's going on.
Ooh, we missed the
So this could be the last day there. AMD trailing, NCLH, I'll just get out the last of it, is it looks like it's going to take out VWAP. It's trending to take out VWAP. It hasn't done it yet, but my stop is just underneath that quarter mark. And if we get back up to the recent high, like that local high in here at 40, I'll just grab that one out. 2 days in a row, this has been one of the easier structured longs off that 14 area. I held on to a piece, but really like I'm getting out my 14s when we take out that 1440 and not at 14.5. Not nearly as strong as it was yesterday, but a couple of good days post earnings for that off its levels. And there's the AMD trail out, as it looks like. Oh, not to trail it, never mind. It got to VWAP. I was about to say, because I was just concerned I was going to get trail out, but it actually just came in. So the trend is held in front of VWAP. I got my bid at 60s, so we'll give it the old Kincaid spike.
Right.
Hopefully he actually scores some touchdowns for the Bills so he can spike the ball every now and then. I'm optimistic. I'll probably overdraft him in fantasy. But AMD, I did get stopped out once, but overall was a pretty good short all afternoon.
Dalton Kincaid.
He's legit.
Yeah.
He's like our slot guy. He's not much of a blocker, but he can catch it, that's for sure.
Yeah, we'll see what Aaron Rodgers has to say about the Jets. Right there, as I
down with the Jets.
I just have to make an important announcement. We just got an important announcement from the kitchen, and that is that please make sure that all of your food waste gets deposited in the garbage can instead of in the sink.
Imagine having to say that.
Okay, Neil, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking straight at you.
Animals.
What a bunch of Neanderthals behind us. Right there. So hopefully we'll handle those guys afterwards.
It is a trading floor.
It's probably Randy.
But still.
You know, Randy, like he's eating his chicken there. He just throws it in the kitchen sink. I don't know. I don't know who would do that, but shout out to everybody and shout out to our kitchen staff that is very on the ball.
Oh, 100% on the ball. I mean, we get we're lucky. We're very fortunate. We get to trade all day long. We get a catered lunch for us. I mean, we
get coffee machine.
We're pretty unfortunate.
Espresso
Coffee
machine
every
gets
day.
fixed on time. It's great. That espresso machine's
Pastries in the morning, man.
Yeah, I try to stay away from that.
I haven't had one all week, so I'm doing good this week.
You're doing great. Neil, you are doing great. So
I'm probably gonna have one tomorrow, though.
So the only pastry that I like, I mean, well, first of all, the cookies. I mean, we try to divide and conquer on those.
Brownie.
But the brownie for me is too sweet. I love brownie, but I feel like if you're having a brownie, you need to have some ice cream on there or something, maybe a little whipped cream. I like brownie.
Start with me.
Depends on the brownie. Yes. I just feel like these ones are a little too sweet. I was gonna say what they bring here that I like is Rice Krispie Square.
There was one this morning. I did.
Oh, there was? Okay, I missed that one.
If there's one tomorrow,
we're
early tomorrow. That's why I usually.
I'm a proud shareholder of every single name I'm about to say, as are most of you, I would say, as well. So brand new 52-week highs today.
Yeah, baby.
It's M to the E to the A. It's Meta in the building. Another 52-week highs. We typed them up. It's M, S. This is gonna be very dramatic, Randy. So keep it on here for a while. MS. Is it Morgan?
No.
Or is it Microsoft right there? Brand new 52-week high. The next one on the list starts with a G and ends with an E, as it is General Electric. Brand new 52-week highs today. The next one on the list starts with an L, followed by another L, followed by a Y. It is everyone's favorite name. It is Eli Lilly right now, back up to 52-week highs. And I love Eli Lilly. The amount of money that we made on this one is quite nice. And another one, the brethren of Eli Lilly, of course. M to the R to the K.
Merc.
It is Merc. Not getting merked.
Don't get merked.
Going right up to the upside there, as it's a brand new 52-week high for all of those names. So we talked about some names that are in the dumpster, we should say, but these names are not. These are flying high right now. And guess what? We fly high, no lie, and you know this because we are, I do not have a graphic.
Oh, I don't have one either.
We used to have that balling graphic.
Ah, poodoo.
It's up to Jim Jones and everybody out there as well. And Dipset right there. Look at this trade right there. I hit the damn sirens. We told you when we came back that we are in a new trade, and it is Apple, as we alert everybody that to that downside right now, man. It's ball in, it's Apple, it's downside. You're in AMD still? No, you got out, so that's good.
Someone asked, I want to answer a quick question. We haven't bounced in 3 minutes. How do I set a trailing stop? I like to use an area, to me, I put an area in. Like, I don't like to use if it retraces 10 or 1% or if it retraces 50 pennies. Sometimes I'll do that. A lot of times I'll see it break down a level like this at 89.90, previous support, and then I see it kind of wick high and hold. And when it comes back down, when it gets to there, I'll slap a trailing stop at that previous high. I like to use something a little more technical in that particular case. That's just what I do, but I'm no expert at trailing stops. I find I get out of them, and it's never the right thing. That said, once I decided to hop on the bid in front of VWAP here, it didn't really matter. I was going to take it out to that downside. We'll see what happens at the end of the day here. Pack W still flushing. That's the one I should have let that one ride. It'll end up good today for me, but I should have let that one ride. I got out when this took out VWAP, and now it's headed back into the downside. I'm not talking about the reason why we're down, but quite frankly, things were looking like it wasn't going to be a 1%. How bad was it going to be in the morning? And then once the regionals started rolling over, you just had slippage and spillage everywhere. The banks got destroyed on this. So across the board, no matter what bank you looked at, they were all flushing the second this started rolling back over. So this and Western Alliance got taken down, MACD got taken down, a couple of other ones started that churn.
Talking about Key Corp 52
Key Corp. But it made a bid. That $5 level actually held up. So we'll maybe look at that tomorrow for Pack W. Good level at $5 even. I didn't get the long because I didn't get there close enough.
Yeah, Schwab is back to $50. So that's another one that we were short earlier and lost on that one. Thank you so much for the talk there on Apple, as that's been a really good trade to end the day. And Neil and I have both been short, so we've cashed out a little bit of that, as we only have now 30% left. Excuse me. Just chug some water. All right, so Apple's going to the downside. We have the imbalances up right now. And again, I want to give a big shout out. We used to have all these wicked graphics, man. But if you are Jason Miller out there, make a Hydration Nation one because we used to have that and it was really cool. So shout out to everybody. I'm way behind.
That's not even close. I barely had my water.
What does it say? This says, remember your goal. I'm at the 11 a.m. level here.
Hydrate, my friend.
Yeah, hydrate. And part of it was that free coffee I got from Tim Hortons. It was way too
that'll
big.
do it sometimes.
And that was too much.
Okay, imbalances in 1 minute here.
Right now. So yeah, there's the imbalances coming out. So I do have a bid right now on Apple. I mean, if we could take 50 cents, we're right here into the I'm actually at 43. It's kind of like these bottom little wicks in here. I don't know, just a random price breaking through 45. This very bottom is 34, 35 right here. I mean, Apple can go a lot lower. We had the great trade on this early. Short, bang, then long, bang, and then short again. So Apple, man, we've really been hitting that. It's the #1 name on the sticky note today. And it is by far the #1 name for me, as we've really taken its name and not even asked any questions about it today. So good job there on Apple. Hopefully it does continue to fall down. We're just pennies away from getting another piece out. We're not going to let the imbalances really affect, hopefully, this trade. So how many seconds now? 20? I'm at 43. Do we wait or do we get out at 45 right now in case this imbalance comes? You know what? I'm going to just wait at 43, although that might be foolish right now with only a couple seconds to go. Only 10 seconds to go. I'm going to put one at 47. Maybe we get that in the last little dip down there. 48. Give me a 47 before this number comes out, please, and thank you. There it is. Thank you very much. All right, so we would have got our 43s anyways, but that's why we get out. You see?
Lift.
We get 47.
Apple's a sell imbalance of 870.
Yeah, there it is right there. So yeah, I got it, but I don't know. Apple's a sell and it went up there, Neil. So we just got a 43,
of course.
47 print and it went
Logic.
up. XOM, what?
Why is Lyft here?
All right, Neil, I'm getting off XOM. What price do you think XOM's at? 2 days ago, 120, right?
115.
Can you believe it's at 110? XOM, Because you know what you
I
forgot?
knew they were down today. I forgot they're all down today.
Yeah, oil right there, down 5 today. And XOM, huh? I think this is a buy right now for XOM. I continue to put my money into XLE. Not XLE, but an equivalent of XLE here in Canada.
Oh, Canada.
But yeah, XLE right now, there, nice move down. We've been doing fine on this. It pays a dividend, and we were getting some out, but not recently, so we don't have any out up there. Let's see if XLE dips again. But yeah, right now, Apple's the only position on board.
Yeah, I still have my NCLH. It's like 8 cents in the money, so I might just get on the offer in front of 40. But Lyft, it's 2.2 million, and none of it's paired off. And when that happens, it actually made a bit of a move. So it did dip down into what was support. Decent volume spike into it as well. Kind of hard to catch that trade. If it were to gravitate back up here, and it's back up at the top at 355, and at 355 it stays a sell, that would be an interesting short. But that's a setup for 3 minutes from now. Just want to check out on that one, see where it goes. AMD, maybe we got out pretty decent. But again, it bounced off VWAP. Whether this would have fallen further or not, I'm probably making that same play. But going into earnings, AMD has been strong. So if you think about the last couple of days, it looked like it was just another Huadong type of day for AMD. It didn't just get back up to the same top. It threatened it. It's holding a higher low. 2 days in a row, it's managed to bounce, reclaim like 90 level, and kind of go sideways at least. So show a little bit of strength off there. But it did reject that breakout yesterday. Either way, I think it's going to be, I tend to think it'll be better than a 6% move just because we've had those expectations on the big caps when they move. They've been a little bit more than that. So I'm expecting to see more than that 6% expected. I don't know which direction it's going to be, but it's been way too tight of a range for AMD for me to think it's not going to. If we go upside, we test 100. We go downside, the 200 periods at 78. Like that's $11 down. So, you know, if you look at support and resistance on the stock, it's way more than 6% away.
Yeah, you're going to find out what's going to happen with that. Those numbers haven't been exactly accurate.
Not
but,
really. They aren't usually, but
they're taking options into consideration. Yeah. So if the market's expecting that, then you are right by that. So I feel like I feel like 6% might be a bigger move, but I don't know. We'll wait on that one for AMD. We just got out of Microsoft that just took the 200, or sorry, Apple just took the 200 there. So one out at 46, as you guys all saw me take that live. Sorry, 47. You saw me take that one live. Then we ripped up and got out at 70 break. So 72 was the fill. And now we're out. The short was 98. We are in absolutely nothing. I want to thank everybody for watching today. But again, I'm going to look at the likes. I'm not going to be happy. So
747
it's always 750.
How is that even possible?
I don't know, man. If you guys can hit the like, but we have over 4,000 watching.
If we had the Brennan one, it would be at 1,500.
Yeah. Yep. But hey, man, I mean, hey, if he's not comfortable, he ain't comfortable. We'll hopefully get that in going for Brendan very, very soon. That like and subscribe. But we do have Kat at least.
Hola, like and subscribe today.
There she is.
Yes, sir.
Behind right now. So
chilling.
There she is. What's up, Kat? Got the glasses on.
Chilling.
What is that? What are you looking at?
She's
there?
very serious.
Right? Is that like an NFT there? What is that? Is that Crypto Kitty? Yeah. Oh, one up.
Oh, okay.
Some sort of a marketing agency there. All right. All right, so let's go. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Kat, yeah, we're just, I mean, it's 4 minutes,
yeah,
5
it's
minutes
4 minutes
left,
to go.
until we go right now. So I'm just looking to see if there's any news at all on anything here that we really need to talk about. I don't see anything. I was going to look at Lyft, obviously, with Uber. Lyft was the #1 name here on the imbalances, so I was just looking at it, but it's just nice move down if you take 10 cents as nice. We can look at Uber right here as well. That's another one that just continued to go pretty much all day. It had its one move down early, and if you, let's go to a 3-minute chart. And if you didn't catch that move right here, let's zoom in a little bit more. Wow, that's pretty nice, Uber over the last couple of days. But there's the move down early, and then since then, it's just riding highs, and we're going to close on the high for Uber. So congratulations, anybody that took anything yesterday on Uber. I don't really have the same opinion on really anything that's going to report today, other than Ford. This is going to be a really interesting name, man. Ford reporting tonight.
Buy at 11.
Yeah, if it gets down to 11, we like that level. I mean, that's a pretty obvious one, clear as day there on the daily chart for Ford as we bounced off of 11 a couple times. I don't know, man. If you take it, you take it, and you got to watch out if it takes that. So I'd watch out. The name that I mean, if there was going to be a name that I was pretty bullish on, it would be Starbucks. Again, just the action that it's had the last little while there on the daily chart leads me to believe that it's going to beat. As we had Daniel Shea on, and she talked about it too. A lot of traders will buy names into earnings knowing that or expecting a good report. So if they miss, we're going to watch out for it, but that 118 is only right there, and that's only $4. So if Starbucks can have a 3% move tonight, you'll take out that recent high right there that goes all the way back to December, and then we'll see Starbucks. I mean, it was only a $98 name not too long ago. This has been a call for me in the new year. It hasn't really performed that well, man. I liked Nike. Well, it's down here, I guess. I like Nike, and yeah, this was exactly at 100. So you're only up 14% on the year, which is pretty good. But I've liked Nike and Starbucks into the new year, thinking that China might settle down, but that's getting a little spicy again. So Apple's all the way back down to 40. So, all right, earnings with Martha, as Randy says in our ear.
Nobody gets that joke anymore, Randy.
Yeah, I still like it, though. It reminds us that Randy's on the ones and twos, which is always cool. So, all right, perfectly queued up as I was going over earnings. Let's see the board. And like cues this up a little bit, but I'm just going to go right there.
Yeah, just jump.
All right, there are no other kinds like
Except
Kraft Heinz.
Yes.
So right there.
Nice little bellwether sort of stock. Maybe not a tradable name there. I always care about Garmin because I just gripe about how expensive their watches are. My wife's a triathlete and she loves them. All distance athletes actually buy those things and they're ridiculously expensive.
When is her next?
She doesn't do it anymore because
former triathlete.
Former triathlete.
Oh, that's too bad. I know she likes doing that.
She loved doing it, but the second Aaron was born, it is a lot of training, man. Like the training for that. Like you are because it's like 3 sports you're training for, legit. So she was in the pool 4 times a week and riding 3 times a week and then running. It was insane. But like I would
see that board again there?
Like that. But that board, like we care about AMD. We'll definitely trade that. 4 at 11. I know I like that to the long side.
I don't see much tomorrow morning,
but there's not that much.
CVS.
Not that much to trade.
Yeah,
but it's Fed Day, so let's be real.
Yeah, but Fed Day is. I don't know. I feel like it's a little overrated, man. We wait for all that,
with
and
AMD earnings, the chips are going to be fire.
Yep, exactly. So, Amazon plans to reboot its Alexa business by working on its own chat, GPT. All right. I was expecting to go over here and see this thing rocketing up. That might be an old story, but we just got that in right now. And I don't think anybody's surprised if a major tech company starts talking about AI. I mean, I feel like you'd be just foolish not to talk about it at this point. So right there, I expect good things from Amazon. Maybe I'll switch up my tone on that one. The strength it had in the market, man, we were trying to go short on Amazon, and that burned us. We are red. Amazon's really our only true red stock today. We are going to be red on Intel as well, but other than that, Amazon was the only one that put a dent in our day. Airbnb, I like this name. I was only going over to this because, again, I was thinking about Uber and Airbnb. I don't know when they report. Maybe they have already. ABNB. I don't think so either, but May 9th. Okay, so we got another week before we go on Airbnb, but I like this name, man, and it's holding off this 110 level. I'm not in it, so, it's not like I'm talking it up, but that 110, I like Airbnb. If Uber's going to do well, I mean, again, another name that could talk about AI and with good cause. So I'm out of everything. I think you are flat as well.
VCIG just rugged at the close. 1 minute, this was screaming. It was at $24, VCIG. And just now, like 2 seconds ago.
You got to worry about
they just pulled it like $7 to the downside. No halt, though.
Do you remember where Minim was last time you checked?
You know what? I'm not even going to.
15. Can you believe $5?
I actually can believe. See, this is the thing.
Look at this.
Take your profits on these things.
Neil, you were talking about it, and obviously you didn't want to take it, but it was 29 cents for shortable shares.
29 cents.
It went down $10. So remember I was saying, like, I don't know how to trade these things? I mean, this is, whether or not small size to you might be small size. I mean, it's different for everybody, but like, I can't hold $10. Anyways, okay, here we go that's too bad about anybody on that MINM right now.
Obviously.
I want to see with your fingers there, Randy, what you think the series will be in favor of the Maple Leafs. Because I actually think 4-1. I just bet the Maple Leafs with only 10 seconds left. Let's see, Randy. Leafs in 6, so 4-2. Okay, here we go, 2-1.
Bring it.
Don't, Randy. All right, get it off of him so we can't do anything more. All right, that was doable. We're scared of that lightning in the bottle where it just goes crack,
bam,
and then all of a sudden we can't hear for about 30 minutes.
I'm not that far from him. That's the problem. So
I mean, I'm literally like 3 feet away from you. So yeah, it's going to be, maybe you block the sound waves coming in again. Thanks, Randy. You did a good job switching. You like switching?
Meh.
Yeah. I mean, Leafs tonight. Yeah, I'm on the puck line tonight, so I've got Leafs minus 1.5 at plus money. We'll see if that can fill up our account there. I want to bet some NBA, so I'll have to look at some NBA games. Did Phoenix or Denver win last night?
Denver got it.
What?
Yo,
so Denver's up 2-0?
Yo, Denver is legit right now. They're playing so well.
Wow. Shout out to Canada.
Jamal Murray.
Oops.
Oh, baby. And Porter didn't even have a good game. Porter had he had sub 10 points. He didn't even
I don't know
show
if Jamal Murray's doing anything, but
He's had a couple of good games, man.
Thing is, he was hurt. Him and Jokic haven't really played any serious games together until this year.
The boys are back. That's a good team.
Which now you're seeing
Don't mess with Denver.
is up. But yeah, go Leafs, go, and go over to Brendan with a wrap.
Hey guys, yeah, a quick look at red board, unfortunately, to end off the session as far as North America is concerned. 1+ right across the entire thing. The Russell 2000 standing out there a little bit. I lied, 0.89 there for the 100. 2% here for the Russell 2000, as I mentioned. Small caps under significant pressure. Even here in Toronto, 1% kind of a day downside, unfortunately.
Yes, sir. And just one last thing before, obviously we get out of here soon. Just a reminder, this is GDC from yesterday. That was yesterday's moonshot, $2, $45. It is back under $4 and hit a low of $3 today. So this is what can happen and what eventually usually does happen with these stocks. So good luck to you if you get these winners on those longs, but what goes up must come down. Sometimes it lasts a couple of days, sometimes it lasts a week, sometimes they slap an offering on you a couple of days into it. So either way, none of these things end up holding for a longer time period.
The best part of all of this is, if you were in MINM, right, and you opened up your account, let's just say you didn't, you were in it for some fluke this morning and you didn't even look at it and you loaded it up today and you're like, wow, I'm up 92%. You'd be like, great.
Not anymore. Well,
but you didn't. No, it's still up 92%.
80. Well, okay.
What I'm getting at is that you'd be like, wow, what a great day. I'm glad I own this stock. But then you'd open up the chart and you'd be like, huh?
You'd cry.
We actually went to $14? All right. I don't know. People asked if we could stay on a little bit longer into earnings, and we are doing that. So shout out to whoever asked. But unfortunately, I don't see anything hitting the wire right now. If Brendan did, we'd bring it to you, and so would I. But right now, AMD, nothing. Starbucks, I don't see. Okay, so Brendan with the nod or the shake head there. So no, nothing on board. Negative, I like that. Okay, so let's wrap this up, man. What a great day it's been again today. I want to thank everybody from the midday show. Neil, obviously, Max, Sharif, doing good work there on the midday show. I think we have a lot of fun. That's a lot of fun on that show. So we talked about a lot of different things on that midday show. So thank you to everybody for that one. Thanks to Randy, Mahad, Fahad, everybody that's over there on the ones and twos. Shout out to Kat behind us as well. Great job on that. And I don't know if I missed anybody. I do not think I did. Mark, Randy, Rob, all those guys. Thank you so much for all the help. So we'll say, without any further ado, Neil, let's say go Leafs go.
Hell yes, go Leafs go.
And have a good night to everybody. And we will see everybody tomorrow. It's Fed Day, so please do not be late. 8:30 tomorrow. We're on board. And then Fed at 2 o'clock. So we'll talk all about that tomorrow. Thanks to Frank Caberna as well. See you tomorrow. Sleep well.